wasting an extra base hit. Instead, extra, oh my goodness, how did he make that play?
What happens when you take one of the smoothest engines anywhere and add 88 separate measures to absorb vibrations? Absolutely nothing. The Lexus ES. Behind every detail, there's a detail. Lease the 2009 ES 350 for $469 a month for 36 months with $1169 due at signing.
After 86 years at the same address, greatness has a new home. Join the Yankees as they celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium with an old tradition, Cap Day. On Sunday, May 3rd, the first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a Yankees cap courtesy of Zales. Yankee Stadium, the inaugural season. Time to take a look at the New York Yankees starting lineup, which is brought to you by your Tri-State Volkswagen dealers. Visit VW.com for great deals on new Volkswagens. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Johnny Damon's in left field. He'll bat second. Mark Teixeira, good numbers lifetime against the A's. He'll be the first baseman. He'll hit third. Cleaning up and catching is Jorge Posada. Robinson Cano slowly moving up in that lineup. He's been so great at the plate. Second baseman will bat fifth. Nick Swisher. He's had a rough homestand. The right fielder will bat sixth, batting seventh, and DHing Hideki Matsui. Cody Ransom at third base bats eighth. And Brett Gardner, who has a gold star next to his name after that catch in the top of the first, he'll play center field, and he'll bat ninth.
Left-hander on the mound for the A's tonight. It's 25-year-old Dana Evelyn, and so far this year he's had a couple of starts. No record. His ERA is somewhat high. Opponent's hitting .348 against him. Let's take a look at the Oakland A's pitcher scout report brought to you by Kia Motors. Kia, the power to surprise. Well, 2008, he led the A's in Ks. He allowed just 10 home runs. Good sinker ball pitcher. But as of right now, right-handed batters are hitting .382 against him.
And Derek Jeter, a right-handed batter, leads off and fouls the first pitch away. So we're in the bottom of the first inning, just underway here at the stadium on a cold and chilly Tuesday night. Pitch inside, 1-1.
Dana Evelyn was part of the trading surge or letting go of players that the Oakland A's did after '06. Danny Herron went to the D-backs.
Popped up, right field. Ryan Sweeney, one out. Let's check out the A's defensively. You just saw Sweeney. You've got Davis and Holiday. That's right to left. Chavez, a six-time Gold Glove winner at third. His career really has been derailed with injuries. You've got Cabrera at short, Ellis at second. Giambi, who was just part of a special roll call by the Bleacher Creatures, he's at first. And Kurt Suzuki is behind the plate. There's Johnny Damon. Pitch inside. Yankees got some good news today on Xavier Nady. Had several MRIs and CAT scans and visited several doctors, and they say that the ligament is not a complete tear, it's a partial tear, and he's going to rehab it. They hope to get him back sometime around a month from now, which is much better news than was originally feared, that he was going to be gone for the season and would have to undergo his second Tommy John surgery. So the Yankees might get back Nady. There's a strike.
I heard you talking about it, Michael, in one of the previous games about early in spring training. Everybody's talking about where is everybody going to fit in the outfield. And don't you know it, every year there's always something. Injuries go down, and obviously the depth of this Yankee team is able to afford it and also need it. You see that a lot of times with teams that have the ability to sign 6 starting pitchers, and sure enough, it'd be great if a team could go without injuries, but it's just not the reality of baseball.
I think the real depth also comes in what you have in the minor leagues working at AAA, and they can help you in the future.
New York Yankees baseball is broadcast in Spanish. It's available by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. Soft ground ball towards second. Ellis charges. There are 2 outs.
Mark Ellis, one of the better defenders in the league at second base.
Tonight's closed captioning brought to you by your local Lexus dealers.
Here's a look. This is a routine play, but I'm just saying that Mark Ellis is very, very slick with the glove. Turns the double play well. Hadn't been swinging a good bat. Just about all the A's have been struggling with the bat in the early going here. They got the lowest team batting average. They've scored the fewest runs. And that should pick up for them. Their hitting should pick up.
Well, that's exactly what the A's look to do, having been the lowest scoring team in the American League last year. And we showed at the Open they were all offensive veteran players. Giambi leading the way with Matt Holliday.
Well, they better have a better second baseman. You need a good defensive second baseman when you've got Giambi at first, because Giambi doesn't cover a lot of ground, and you're going to have to make up for it going to your left. The 2-0. And that's the difference between the Yankees defensively this year. The guy at the plate, Mark Teixeira, put on a show on Sunday with an unbelievable play. He's a Gold Glove winner. And the Yankees vastly improved their defense at first base.
You know, aside from the obvious of fielding the throw, the fielding around there, but having the comfort of especially the guys on the left side of the diamond, to know that there's a guy capable of scooping the way he does.
This is what Michael's talking about. It's Victor Martinez thought he had a ball ticketed for right field, and Teixeira, quick left hand, snags it, steps on the bag, and the inning is over. He got congratulations from everybody in the dugout.
I was watching one of the games you guys were doing in Tampa, and there was a play at runner at second base. He timed the ground ball to third, threw to Teixeira. Teixeira threw back to Jeter and got him out. Next guy gets a base hit, would have been a run scored. And there's a lot of tangibles, the fact that he can throw also.
Posada lost one to right field, coming on as Sweeney. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. Teixeira running with 2 outs will head to third. So Posada picks up a single.
Well, for the second time, Posada gets a chance to talk to Jason Giambi, this time down at first base. Not all that well hit, but it's just well placed.
It's allowed it to go deep into the zone, not trying to do too much. Evelyn coming right at him, throwing strikes. A little doinker to right. Watch him let it carry deep. Deep in the zone, meaning catching it while he actually caught out front. But his approach, when you see a hitter approach early in the count to go basically middle right center, really hard to pitch to as far as the pitcher is susceptible of not being able to be fooled on off-speed pitches.
You still got to get the barrel of the bat to the ball in front of home plate. You hear hitting coaches talking about let the ball travel. That means don't commit too quickly.
Cano commits to the first pitch and grounds it to Ellis, and that's going to do it here in the first inning. He's been showing so much patience, and he gets moved up to the number 5 hole and leaves 2 runners on base. We go to the second.
Strength is power. Introducing the all-new TL, the most powerful Acura ever built.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on the 2009 Acura TL for well-qualified customers.
These cops from the Major Case Division know just where to draw the line.
No one was supposed to die!
And when to cross it.
Against the wall!
Now do we have your attention?
Law and Order Criminal Intent.
It'd be a crime to miss it.
Weeknights at 11 on My 9.
See, son, now this here is value. Getting what you want and not paying too much for it.
So, when I used to mow the lawn and you only paid me $2.
That's value.
While I wash the car.
Value.
Clean out the garage.
Value.
Value for you, maybe.
And a valuable lesson for you.
Great food at a great price. You can't argue with that. Or this. Right now, 2 beefy double cheeseburgers are just $3. Hurry, though. Offer ends April 30th.
I'm gonna take Mom out next time.
This is your Movies on Demand screen.
Oh, cool. So what are you going to do next? Who are you? Who is he?
It's okay. Well, I'm going to
activate over 100 HD channels, program his remote, sync his TV with his computer. Wow, it's like you've been watching him all day.
Have you been watching me all day?
No.
Switch to Verizon Fios and get the ultimate home entertainment experience. Plus up to $150 back. This is Fios. This is big.
New York Yankees baseball on My 9 is brought to you in part by Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. Men's Warehouse, you're going to like the way you look. and by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Well, we go to the second inning. There's no score. Yankees leave 2 runners on base in the bottom of the first. Here's Jack Cust. Big healthy cut by the big left-hander. And the count is 0-1. Cust not that great against left-handed pitching. A .211 average. Against righties hitting .348.
Well, so far he's been the main power source in their lineup. The A's have only hit 3 home runs this season in 12 games. Cust has 2 of them.
Got a lot of family and friends at the game. He's from Flemington, New Jersey. There's a strike.
Yankee fan, Immaculata High School, #1. You mentioned out of high school. This guy has an unbelievable hitting facility and a big business down there in Flemington, Immaculata High School. His father played with Rick Cerrone at Seton Hall as an outfielder. He had a brother in the minor leagues. He's been hitting in some sort of cage since he was a little kid. Quite impressive. I know in the New Jersey area, people who play baseball are familiar with it.
One thing he does, he usually goes deep into counts, and right now it's 2-2. And last year, almost 25% of the time that he came to the plate, the count went to 3-2.
High fly ball left field, deep, backing up Damon. He's on the track, and he makes the play in front of the wall for the first out. My 9 wants your thoughts. Do you agree with batting Derek Jeter in the leadoff position, and why? Just go to my9tv.com and click on the fan blog icon to post your entry now. It's brought to you by Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. Well, Joe Girardi agrees that he should bat leadoff. I don't know if he's going to take part in the blog.
Well, he has good reason to do so. I mean, he splits up Johnny Damon and Brett Gardner. Gardner's been batting 9th most of the year, so he throws a right-hander in between the 2 of them. And what was the other reason, Michael? He said because of Jeter hitting into double plays?
Hit into 45 double plays the last 2 years, 15 of them in the first inning.
What about the left-handed batter? How many opportunities, you know this as switch hitter, with a runner at first base, you have the first baseman cover to allow that hole to be open?
Well, the feeling is if Jeter gets on and then the hole's open for Johnny Damon.
Left-handed batter is harder, usually, with a catcher trying to throw out a runner because catchers are right-handed.
So we're telling the people how to vote there, huh?
We're just trying to sway them. You're not allowed to electioneer that close to the polls. The 2-1. Soft ground ball to Jeter. He charges. And a nice stretch by Teixeira. 2 outs. Before that, Ellis 6 for 12 lifetime against Pettit.
Good changeup right here. Took a little bit off. And I really think that Andy Pettit, so far early on, watching these starts of his, this is his 3rd, that big curveball, we've seen it in this game, getting into some counts, and also the changeup. Watch this this is a 2-1 count. It's a fastball, aggressive count. See that little fade down the way? The hitter has to commit. It looks like a fastball out in front. Nice pitch.
Here's Eric Chavez. There's a breaking ball.
I love that curveball. When you get older and your velocity gets short, as it does for everybody, you want some speed variation in your off-speed pitch. And I believe with the curveball at 77, 78, I said less his velocity, 90 miles an hour is a nice fastball. That when you get that fastball cutter slider range, you don't have enough disparity in the speed. And sometimes when you're not on with your fastball, they're not out in front.
You remember what you were throwing in your last season? How fast you were throwing?
I think I probably touched on 90, but it was mostly upper 80s. But I came to where knowing that I needed to throw a slow curveball to offset that 88, 89, 90.
If you were throwing 90, why'd you stop?
My last pitch was a 91 mile an hour two-seamer to Eduardo Perez. I don't know, because I'm not smart.
Because he wanted to join us up here.
Oh, okay.
Eric Chavez grounds out to Cano, and Andy Pettit works a 1-2-3 inning. We'll try to figure out why Al did it and come back at the bottom of the second.
A traction control system that monitors wheel slip 6,000 times a minute is smarter. Suspension that can self-adjust to changing roads is smarter. A 7-speed transmission that improves fuel efficiency is smarter. All of this in a smaller SUV? That's just brilliant. Introducing the all-new GLK. See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for special offers through Mercedes-Benz Financial.
Looks like we're in for a bumpy ride. Go ahead, ignore me. But in this turbulent market, you're going to need help protecting some of your assets for retirement. An AXA Equitable Annuity could give you guaranteed income for life. I'd call them, but what do I know? I'm just the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Don't worry, I'm here.
Want guaranteed income for life? AXA Equitable is redefining what you expect from annuities.
Ooh, peanuts.
Looking for something that the whole crowd will love? How about a box of delicious Dunkin' Donuts? Bring a treat that's perfect for any occasion. With so many varieties to choose from, at Dunkin' Donuts, you can do it. America runs on Dunkin'.
Employee Pricing Plus Plus is in its final month at your Chrysler and Jeep dealer. You get our employee price, plus a $2,500 combined cash allowance, plus $500 auto show bonus cash, which all adds up to over $6,500 in savings on a new Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4. Plus, well-qualified buyers get 0% financing. All on top of our best-in-the-business lifetime powertrain warranty, giving you even more value and peace of mind. See your Chrysler and Jeep dealer today.
Hey, Saturday afternoon, the biggest rivalry in sports continues as the Yankees take on the Red Sox on our sister station, Fox 5. The action's going to start at 4 p.m., so don't miss a pitch as the Bombers head to Fenway for the first Yankees-Red Sox series of the season. The Yankees-Red Sox Saturday at 4 p.m. on Fox 5. Nick Swisher leads off against Dana Evelyn. Swisher, a .251 hitter while with the A's in 4 seasons. And Evelyn deals. There's a strike. Swisher on the 4 games against the Indians, coming back down to earth a bit, 2 for 14. He had been on fire. No one stays that hot inside.
I think it's fair to say that he's been a pleasant surprise so far. After not a good year at the Chicago White Sox last year, his batting average.
Now, he stirred up some controversy. I don't know if you guys heard this. He came out and said that Joe Girardi was the best manager he ever played for.
I heard that, yeah.
And Ozzie Guillen, who was manager of the White Sox and managed Swisher last year, he said he can say whatever he wants. I'm going to be a manager way longer than he's a player. People are sensitive.
He's been here 13 games, and he says Joe's the best manager
ever.
What an impression.
Positive. He's allowing this positive glow.
It's good to suck up to the principal. As Nick Swisher works a walk.
I think I was in Baltimore 13 games. I said, Earl Weaver's the toughest manager I ever played for. But after 8 years, I knew there was a reason why he was going to the Hall of Fame.
Here's Hideki Matsui. Hideki starting to swing the bat a bit better, 3 for his last 7, but his knee's a concern for the Yankees. And that's why getting back Nady would be gigantic for them, because then, let's say Nady's arm is such that he can't play the outfield all the time. Well, he can at least spell some time with Matsui at the DH role, and this way you don't have to play Matsui every day.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a while before Nady's even thinking about coming back.
Boy, you need your lower half. I'll tell you, Kenny, playing as a pitcher, I had 3 knee surgeries, and the importance of having your legs. And, you know, you can only go by what Matsui's telling the trainers and the coaching staff.
You need him to hit, too. You got to push off that back leg, and it's the left knee that had the latest surgery.
Matsui says he's fine.
Yeah.
Well, he's already had the knee drained, so obviously some issues. But he is seeing the ball okay. He's had 6 walks in his last 14 plate appearances. So if he gets on base, they'll take it. But they expect Matsui over a full season to drive in 100 runs, and he has not been hitting that way. The 1-2. Sliced inside third. It's a base hit. And it goes down into the corner in left field. Swisher is heading to third. He's going to stop right there. And it's a double for Matsui.
Well, that's what we're used to seeing from Matsui when he's feeling pretty well. He can take that outside pitch and hit it the other way. The ball was up a bit. That enabled him to get to it and kind of just slashed at it and drove it by the third base bag for the 2-base hit. You can see the lower half spinning away, and it was basically an arm swing, but the ball was not that far enough away from it that he couldn't reach it. And there is Matt Holliday getting introduced to the corner here at Yankee Stadium.
What a difference between a well-executed breaking ball. You see, Matsui had enough of his hands back. He was fooled. It was a curveball, but it was, instead of it knee-high or lower where curveball should be, middle thigh, and he was able to put the good part of the bat on.
This is going to be his third double of the year. Look what Al was talking about. The pitch is up, and you can see he can get to it. It's about thigh high. If that's kind of knee high, that's more difficult to hit.
Well, you can see his body's way out in front. The balance is off, but that's what the whole premise of pitching is. Offset the hitting.
Cody Ransom pops it up, does not get the runner in. Sweeney is there. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Swisher, but he just draws the throw. As the throw cut off by Giambi.
Yeah, he was tagging for effect. Sweeney, as we saw last year, has a very strong throwing arm. You can see that Mark Ellis, the second baseman, giving away to Sweeney, and this is just a tag to draw the throw. And it was an accurate throw at that.
Boy, when you're struggling, an RBI opportunity just to get it far enough out. Fly ball there.
Well, they had the infield back for Ransom. They were going to give up a run on a ground ball, but with Gardner, who likes to slap the ball on the ground, they moved the infield in. So they're looking to cut off the run now. Pitch inside.
These are some of the things going to have to change for the Yankees. They're going to have to get better with runners in scoring position. They and the A's were tied for last in the league, hitting just over 200 runners in scoring position. So these opportunities can't be squandered. We saw it during the Cleveland series where the Yankees left a bunch of men on base.
Grounded and under the glove of Ellis. A product of the infield being in. 2 runs will score. It's a 2-run single for Brett Gardner, and the Yankees are up 2-0.
Well, just mention it, and he comes through.
You know, that's a product of Bob Guerin, the manager of the A's, recognizing that this team has not scored, and they have Andy Pettitte, who's hot. You see, obviously, past the slick field in second base and Mark Ellis, the shot was too hard to go for him to be able to knock it down. He was in enough to even be on the grass. That was unusually. I mean, you see him right in the base path. But that more early in the game, an American League game, you take it out right there. But they've been struggling offensively.
There's the A's manager, Bob Guerin. Our former Yankee catcher. Here's Derek Jeter. Now, of course, Gardner is a threat to steal.
Guerin now into his 3rd year with the A's.
Always knew it. Bob Guerin was my catcher in Double-A with the Yankees at Albany and also Columbus, and you always tell the guys that wanted to manage someday. Asking the coaches questions constantly.
There's a strike. A lot of managers make the transition. In the American League, you've got 5 former catchers. In the National League, 5 former catchers. So 10 out of the 30 jobs taken by catchers. And the best explanation we ever heard is that catchers have to know what everybody's doing.
Was Leland on there?
Leland was not on there.
He was a catcher in the minors. Doesn't count.
Yeah.
I know,
he was in the minors.
Yeah.
So let's make it 11.
What? So what was your point?
Oh, sorry.
Point being that a catcher has to know what everybody else is doing. He's got to know everybody else's assignment. So what other position players just worry about themselves. Swung on a miss. The throw to second. Stolen base for Gardner. He's almost automatic.
Well, he gets a decent jump. I wouldn't say it's a great one. It looked like he slipped a little bit, but he's got the great speed, and Suzuki's arm, the throw is accurate, but not strong enough.
I think Evelyn has a nice little slide step there. A strong throw from Suzuki on the money. That is speed. Speed kills. You cannot defend against it unless you can't get at first base.
4th stolen base of the year. He's been caught one time.
17 of 19 in steal attempts in his career. Count 1-2 to Jeter. 2-2. Also, this is a positive stat about Gardner. In his young career with runners in scoring position, 14 hits and 45 at bats. That's 311. So he picks his game up a little bit.
He might be picking his feet up here and headed for third base if the A's don't try and hold him a little bit more closely. I was watching Cabrera, and he was pretty. Now here he comes. Yep. Evelyn's thinking the same thing.
And it's not a waste of time. The inside move stops a guy from getting a secondary lead and running immediately. Meaning, as soon as that leg comes up, if you don't show a runner that you're going to do an inside move, the second that left foot goes, they're going to third base here. Now he's got a hold.
Line drive off the glove of Ellis as Gardner advances to third. You know, if Ellis catches that, it's the end of the inning.
Yes,
they easily double up Gardner.
I wonder if he took the glance to see if he had a chance for the double play and didn't look the ball completely into his glove. Hit hard off the bat of Jeter. Maybe not. He just didn't glove it.
Well, that ball was smoked.
Oh,
that was a legitimate lenient.
Well, we just got through saying he's a slick fielder. He's had one ball go by him on Gardner's hit, and he couldn't flag down this line drive.
He was a shortstop at University of Florida, and the irony was that David Eckstein was his second baseman, and he played short.
And they flip.
When they get to the big leagues.
What did they score there?
Have not seen it yet. I think they've made a decision. Pitch to Damon is inside.
I think it's got to be a hit, too. Yep, it is.
Just a hit.
Yep. I mean, you got the guy who hit the ball, has got the most hits in the history of the old stadium. Don't you want him to, maintain over here across the street?
It was well struck.
Yes, it was.
Line drive, base hit, right center field. Cutting over is Davis, cuts the ball off in the gap. Gardner scores. Damon's going for two. He's out as Jeter advances to third. It's an RBI single for Damon. It's 3-0 Yankees.
RBI single for Damon, but a bad move going to second. There's only one out. You want Jeter to be at third with at least one out. So Johnny got a little too greedy here. Rajai Davis, the center fielder, has good speed, and he cuts this off. You can see Jeter headed for third. He's there with one out. You got to make sure you go into second standing up. He is tagged out by Cabrera, and now there's 2 outs and a runner at third.
And if you're scoring, that's 8-6 on the put out at second. Pitch to Teixeira. Is a strike.
Johnny coming down the box. He's thinking double right away, but Davis is thinking, no, you're not. And he makes an accurate throw, and the ball is there waiting for Johnny Damon.
Check swing by Teixeira. Did he go? No, said C.B. Buckner at first.
I think for Johnny Damon, the ball was hit so hard, and the grass here is impeccable, that it got to Rajai Davis so quickly. That's a decision right out of the box. You say, I'm going 2. It's not. You can't go halfway, run to first, and figure out whether you're going to go or not.
Shattered bat, base hit to left field. Jeter will score an RBI single for Mark Teixeira. It's 4-0 Yanks.
Well, Michael, you talked about how well Teixeira has hit against the Oakland A's in his career. He's hit more homers against them than any other opponent. Broken bat this time, but it gets the job done with 2 outs. You needed a hit to get Derek in, and while he doesn't have a bat anymore, he has one more run batted in.
That's got to be. This has got to be a maple bat. I know we've seen Johnny Damon have the bat shadowed like that. That looked like it was right barrel of the bat. Normally a bat will break or explode like that if it was a complete jam shot.
Pitching coach Kurt Young out to the mound to talk to Evelyn, his young left-hander. The Yankees open it up here a bit in the bottom of the second inning.
Here's Posada. Fouled away. So the Yankees have scored 4 runs here in the bottom of the second. Take a nice comfortable lead with Andy Pettitte on the mound. Yankees 4 for 5 with runners in scoring position this inning. Cody Ransom made the only out. Look out at first base. That's pretty much past and present. Giambi, past. Teixeira, present and future. And he also has Jason's old number. Jason couldn't wear 16 with the Yankees because it's retired for Whitey Ford. And his idol, or his dad's idol growing up, was Mickey Mantle. So Jason took number 25 because the 2 and the 5 added up to 7. Mark Teixeira wanted number 23, but that's retired for Don Mattingly, and he wanted 23 because of Don Mattingly. So he just took 25.
Good guy. I know we all know him, but just saw him yesterday, and he's congratulating everybody and saying hello.
I'll tell you what, when you come to the Yankees, there's a good chance you might not get the number you want. And there's the reason.
Glad they got a lot of wall left over because there's more to come, I'm sure.
16, 17 if you.
Yeah.
And Mariano decides to hang him up.
Mariano, the last player in baseball to wear 42. The 1-2. Inside 2-2.
That's a pitch right there. When you get hit around or you're missing your spots, Evelyn wants that. Obviously, you're begging a little bit. You've given up a few hard hit balls. This is a hanging breaking ball. Let's see if it goes above the strike zone.
Yeah, it's a little too high.
Not for me, but yeah, I know in this day and age.
Yeah. Hitters and pitchers are never going to agree on.
Rounded up the middle, another base hit. Posada's 2 for 2.
Seven hits for the Yankees overall, 6 in this inning. And they have batted around now here in the second.
Came back with the same pitch, took a little bit off. That was middle and low enough for Jorge to stay on this ball and drive it up the middle. Even if he had a better squared position to home plate, he got a shot at knocking that ball down.
Kurt Young on the phone. There's Ty Waller, the bench coach, standing next to Bob Guerin, the manager, and there's going to be some stirring in the A's bullpen.
30th pitch of the inning upcoming for Dana Evelyn. And Cano takes outside.
Well, 5 singles in a row. Matsui was fooled out in front. It was a double down the left field line. Well struck, all of them except Teixeira. Now I guess you could put Posada in that. You got to get your innings out of your starter.
Driven out deep to left center field. Davis back. Still back. He's got room. He makes the play for the final out of the inning. So the Yankees bat around, and they put a 4 spot on the board. They get 6 hits. They leave 2 runners on. We played 2 at the stadium. 4-zip Yanks.
If you're shopping for a car, you should know that Toyota has been rated the most fuel-efficient full-line car manufacturer on the road today. No matter what the price of gas does, it's good to know Toyota quality saves money. And now you can get 0% financing for 60 months or $1,000 cash back on the Toyota Yaris. Or lease a Corolla for just $159 a month. But hurry, these offers end May 4th. Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward.
Pour, pure, perfection. Perfect every cup of coffee with the rich and creamy goodness of Land O'Lakes Half and Half.
The economy's in trouble. I hear it. I hear it when I take the subway. I hear it when I walk the streets in neighborhoods. But we can do something about it. We are going to come out of this. I mean, do have a plan to get through this. The city can't do everything, but we can do a lot to make it easier for the people that live in the city.
For today's new challenges, Mike Bloomberg's 5-borough economic opportunity plan will create or save 400,000 jobs. Infrastructure investments, provide loans for small businesses, a focus on creating new, high-value jobs in biotech and green technologies, and help for middle-class families struggling to make ends meet.
We can't afford to play games. The challenges families face are too real and too hard. My solution is built on independent leadership. Focus on the facts and real solutions. Deliver for people, not special interests. And never lose focus on what matters. Jobs. Jobs for New Yorkers in all 5 boroughs.
Time to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Delayed because of rain, the White Sox and the Orioles. Texas leads Toronto 2-0, bottom of the third. Another rain delay, Minnesota at Boston. 10-10 start. That's a time delay, Tampa Bay at Seattle. In the National League, Atlanta, Washington delayed because of rain. Philadelphia leads Milwaukee 4-1, bottom of the second. Pittsburgh 2, Florida 0, top of the third. And the Mets and the Cardinals start at 8:15. Here's Kurt Suzuki. And the pitch is high. 1-0 on the Sim scoreboard. 4-7-0 Yanks. 0-1-0 for the A's.
Andy Pettit's got himself a nice little cushion as he hits the mound in the top of the third. His teammates pound out 4 runs on 6 hits. Andy's off to a great start. 10-5 in his career against the Oakland A's. He beat them twice last year and was outstanding in both ball games. He beat the A's on June 12th in Oakland, went 8 innings, struck out 6, gave up just 5 hits and a run. Then he beat them again here in New York at the old Yankee Stadium. 8 innings again, 9 strikeouts.
Laced down the right field line. That's going to be trouble. It's a base hit. Bounces up against the wall. Played out there by Swisher as Suzuki will go to second with a double.
It's the type of hitter Suzuki is. He's not a home run hitter for a catcher in this day and age. Normally he gets some power out of it. Stays on the baseball. Uses the whole field. Not a power threat, but is able to put the barrel of the bat on the ball and have some good at bats. 249-ish kind of hitter. Solid behind the plate.
Yeah, he plays just about every day. He played 141 games last year.
Here's Rajay Davis. Shows bunt. Takes pitch. So I've got to send out congratulations. My good friend Tim McCarthy and his wife Colleen welcome a little baby girl Claire into the world. So another little Yankee fan.
That's great.
His third.
His third girl. Boy, is he paying for a life.
Way to go, Timmy.
Congratulations. Bunted down the third base line and it kicks foul.
When are you going to get him?
I don't want to say it on the air. He watches the games. But you know what? He is the head of 1050 ESPN Radio.
I do that.
And you can listen to the Michael K. Show from 2 to 7, Monday through Friday.
Oh, that's so cheap.
What are the times?
2 to 7, Kenny.
Okay,
Thank you. Yeah. Here's the 1-1. Grounded up the middle, slowed down by Pettit, and stopped by Jeter. And that's going to save a run as Suzuki can only move the third.
Well, let's see how this inning plays out, but anytime you get your infielder to hold it, big, slow curveball down the way, Andy not able to put the glove on, as you see. Keep the ball in the infield.
I think he tipped it, slowed it down just enough so Derek could get to it and knock it down. And it puts runners on the corners.
With 1 out, this would have been even bigger.
Yeah.
Still put you in a double play to get out of the inning.
Here's Ryan Sweeney, who singles to left in the first inning. You always wonder if a pitcher has a different mindset. I know 4 runs is not a boatload, but it's still 4 runs. You have a different mindset when you're sitting on the bench for as long as Andy was, and now you have a 4-run lead rather than a 0-0 game?
You're not supposed to, but yes. You feel the relief of, okay, not every 2-0, 2-1 pitch has to be perfect because it could mean the difference of a win or a loss in the case of a 0-0 game or 1-1. But you also have to be careful. I mean, this is clearly not out of it, but when you see a guy getting a big lead, you continue to have to pitch. And there's a fine line with, why is he throwing 2-0, 2-1 curveballs in a blowout game? Because that's the way he pitches. Good pitchers to be able to maintain change in speeds and do your thing, your repertoire.
1-1. Grounded foul.
We saw Sweeney last year, and the thing about him with the A's last year, they gave him every opportunity to succeed. He batted in every spot in the batting order last year. So when he wasn't hitting that well, they dropped him down. When he was hitting well, they moved him up.
he was number 2 pick in 2003 with the White Sox, and he was traded for Nick Swisher.
Yeah.
So here's a guy, they love his swing. Got a lot of upside to him, only 24 years old, signed out of high school.
Got some tools in the outfield.
Yes, he does.
A long set by Pettit. A 1-2. Inside. Sweeney is 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position this season.
He's about on par with the rest of the A's. They're not really coming through all that well in these situations. Although this is a prime situation, nobody out.
Last 4 games, Kenny, they hit 154 as a team. So they've had a hard time stringing base hits together. It's been 8 years since the A's have had this bad of a start, 5-7 after 12 games. And the offensive struggles they're having now, just a continuation of what they had last year. Look at that. Last in 4 of the important ranks.
Boy, the first thing that comes to mind, I don't know about you guys, but I think of, the Bash brothers, and the offense was devastating. I know I'm going way back now, but
it's not that far back.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Grounded to first. Teixeira gets 1, throws home, and they'll have Suzuki in a rundown. Tagged out by Posada. We talked about his defense at first. That was an extraordinarily hard play. But believe me, Jason Giambi did not like to throw the ball last year, so you might not have seen that.
Well, first of all, a couple of decisions here. First of all, to get the runner who hit the ball, Sweeney, and then presence of mind to throw home against Suzuki. It's kind of an odd double play, but he gets it turned. Good decision making by the first baseman, Mark Teixeira. Here's one. Right on the money with the throw, and Posada's going to apply the tag to his opposite number, the catcher Suzuki. So there's a double play.
Well, you had the double play depth in the middle, but normally you would see a third base coach say, look, between first and third, because they're in, and Teixeira as close as he is, make sure it gets through the infield because there's nobody out.
That's what I was wondering. Was that a bad base running decision?
I think it was, because even if it doesn't get through, he's going on contact, obviously. And Teixeira's got a good arm. So that's a mistake in the sense that make sure it goes through, because if it doesn't, you still are at third base, 1 out, sacrifice fly, you score a run.
And then if you hold up and he decides to try the 3-6-3 double play, you can still score.
You might be able to score on that one. Or, he'll probably look at home first and then 3-6. 3 or 3-6 to get the double play, and that would take time. He might not get the runner at second. Davis runs pretty well.
Slow roller toward Cano, and how about that? Andy Pettit works out of first and third and nobody out. Pretty good pitching and good defense as well. The A's strand 1, and we go to the bottom of the third.
I'm in the process of looking for a new job, so I'm getting my wardrobe into interview shape. Luckily, I discovered Sims. I never have to ask, where is the bargain at Sims? I'll find designer and brand names, and I'll buy them at bargain prices. For the price of 2 name brand or designer suits, at Sims I'll get the same 2 suits, plus a blazer, slacks, 4 shirts, 6 ties, and a pair of shoes. And I'll still get great customer service and advice. I'm an educated consumer, thanks to Sims.
Dames en heren, we gaan beginnen!
Exceptionally brewed for a taste that's pure Amsterdam. Amstel Light, one damn good beer.
Looking for something that the whole crowd will love? How about a box of delicious Dunkin' Donuts? Bring a treat that's perfect for any occasion. With so many varieties to choose from, at Dunkin' Donuts, you can do it. America runs on Dunkin'.
Agility, control, for whatever the road.
throws your way. The IS from Lexus. Lease the 2009 IS 250 all-wheel drive for $429 a month for 36 months with $1129 due at signing at your Lexus dealer.
Well, tonight's Smile of the Game is brought to you by McDonald's. Satisfy your burger craving with the big beefy taste of McDonald's double cheeseburger. A nice smile and a pretty girl on a cold night here in New York City. On the Sims scoreboard, bottom of the third inning, 4-0 Yankees. And Swisher will lead it off. He led off the second with a walk, and that led to 4 Yankee runs as they batted around. Evelyn deals. There's a strike.
Michael, you were talking about Swisher's 4 years with the Oakland A's. His best year was 2006. 35 homers, 95 runs batted in.
Well, last year was really his worst season. 219 with the White Sox, but still had pretty good power. Rip foul. Now, Swisher's hair was a bit long with the A's, but he was growing his hair long because he donated it to a charity for people that lost their hair because of cancer treatment. And he fits perfectly his kind of attitude, his loosey-goosey attitude with the loosey-goosey A's. 251 lifetime, 80 home runs with them. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not.
Love the personality. You know, have fun with it. What is it? Ponytail? Pigtails.
Pigtails.
Yeah.
And this is when he got a cut.
Is that his dad?
Not sure. Yes, it is. Steve Swisher.
Catcher for the Cubs and the Padres.
I don't know if the pigtails would work here.
Depends on where you are in the city.
In the Bronx at 161st and River? I don't think
so here.
The 3-2. Grounded foul. It is amazing. Kenny gave you the stat before how often Nick Swisher is at full count.
Yeah. Well, that's plus for the other hitters. Certainly it shows that he's willing to take pitches. And he and Jack Cust, I'll tell you, both of them, I think they're 1-2 in going deep into counts.
They are.
Full counts. Cust is number 1 and Swisher's number 2.
And Evelyn deals the 3-2. Grounded, foul, outside of third. He makes a pitcher work. Hey, if you go 3-2, you know the pitcher is at least throwing 6 pitches.
8 pitches in this at bat, and still nobody out in the inning.
53 pitches for Evelyn. 28 strikes. Not a great strike to ball ratio.
This is the 8th pitch coming up.
And the left-hander deals. Now it'll be 9.
Reminds me of Johnny Damon, the guy, leadoff guy you want to see a lot of pitches and be able to foul a lot of balls off. My question, Kenny, of being a hitter, is that how do you get to where you walk as often as he does, along with Jack Cust, you mentioned, and strike out 152, 131, 135 times, and still get the 3-2?
Grounded to Chavez.
Well, you run deep counts. Sometimes as a hitter that trusts his eyes so much, you get called out on strikes a lot because you think the close pitches are going to be called balls. And that doesn't always work that way. You have to have a special rapport with the umpires.
Yeah, well play a long
You know,
time.
I walked a lot. I think the most I ever struck out a year was 118 times, but I think the most I ever walked in a year was 123. So Cust last year struck out an American League record 197 times. That's a lot of punching out.
So you're looking for the perfect pitch.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
He's not going to swing until he figures he can unload. He hit 33 homers.
It's a lot of strikeouts to live with in the lineup, though. That's 197 at bats and nothing happened.
Nothing, and you toss in the walks, and he's not exactly. I always felt if you run really well, you're not going to walk all that much because they're afraid you're going to steal bases. And I didn't run very well, so pitcher just pitched around me. I got a lot of walks.
I was talking to Mike Gallego, third base coach for Oakland A's here, and yesterday talking about situational hitting and how the game is getting to where it really is. It matters. Look at the last inning. Derek Jeter, great play to hold the runner at third base, and Yankees were able to get out of it. Little things like that are going unnoticed. And just how the game has evolved to where it's, back legging, RBI, home run, and really a lot of players in the lineup really don't care about the strikeout as much. I think it was a pride thing when you played. But you wanted to put the ball in play.
Yeah.
Especially, 2 strikes, you shorten it up a little bit. Maybe not your 4-hole guys. And when I say not care, of course they don't want to strike out. But when you mentioned 197 costs, the year before 164. Just seems strikeouts are much more prevalent, and I guess it goes with the game where it's about driving in runs and hitting home runs.
We used to call it the so race, strikeout, and guys whoever was leading the team would check the stats every week, and he'd say so. And the whole thing was not to be leading in the so category, strikeout.
Here's Cody Ransom. There's a strike.
And funniest teammate I ever had was Lee May. And he always said, if I don't strike out 100 times a year, they're going to think I'm not trying. And one day in Cleveland, I came back to the dugout. I had just struck out myself, and he's sitting at the end of the bench laughing and smiling. What's so funny? I just struck out.
There's a base hit to Ransom.
And he said, I got it. I said, you got what? He said, last time I struck out my 100th time. I'll be back next year. Cody Ransom has had a hard time picking up hits lately, but this time he gets an off-speed pitch, gets the barrel of the bat on it, drags it through the 5-hole into left field for a base hit. 5.5. That's what Tony Gwynn called it. The hole between the third baseman and the shortstop. The shortstop's number, all the positions are numbered. The shortstop's number 6, third baseman's number 5 on your program or on your scorecard, and that's why Tony called it the 5.5 hole, and he filled it a lot.
Brett Gardner takes a pitch low. Brett Gardner today, a great play in center field in the first inning. Then he had a 2-run single in the second. And the Yankees took a chance saying, okay, Gardner's going to be our center fielder. He beat out Melky Cabrera in spring training. And he seems to be getting progressively more comfortable and better. And if he can hit 250, 260, 270 with his speed, he could steal 35 bases. That's a nice addition to the Yankee lineup at the bottom.
He's already picked up a stolen base tonight. A couple of runs batted in. He's got a chance to drive in more. A familiar face warming up in the A's bullpen at left center field.
Dan Geis. When Gardner first came up last year, he looked lost. He looked overpowered at the plate. Then they changed some things. He worked a lot with hitting coach Kevin Long. His second time he came up, Kevin said, the way you hit right now, you're not going to stick up here. You got to change some things. And he was very, very receptive, and he became a better player the second time up, carried it into spring training. Count 2-2. In case you just joined us, let's take a look at that play in the first inning.
Yeah, this is Jason Giambi, who thought he had an extra base hit until the ball goes into the glove of Brett Gardner on the warning track about 400 feet away, scrambles to his feet and saved the run in the first inning.
Two. Nub foul.
Well, I know it's only the minor leagues, and he was a high draft pick, relatively high draft pick for the Yankees in 2005. It was a third round. That was not relative, but 284, 323 in Tampa. But when you have speed like that, and I know you can't steal first, his ability, you mentioned about Kevin Long, to be able to allow the pitcher to bring the ball down the zone and hit even mediocre ground balls to the left side. I believe he can get 20 hits a year just doing that.
If he makes a shortstop move to his right to field the ball, he's got a very good chance to beat it out. The 2-2. Soft ground ball towards second. Ellis will underhand it to first for the second out. The runners move up. New York Yankees baseball on My 9 is brought to you in part by Acura. Acura Advance. Amstel Light. One damn good beer. And by Hyundai. Ready for good news? Get Hyundai Assurance and up to $5,000 cash back on select models now. Here's Derek Jeter, second and third with 2 outs. Bottom of the third inning, Yankees up 4-0. A chance to put some more runs on the board for Pettit. Pitches inside, 1-0.
For both sides here, this is a crushing blow at bat. Derek Jeter come up with a hit here. Now it's a six-run lead for the Yankees. And also conversely, Evelyn knows that he's got a guys warming up. You get through this inning, hold those runners there. Big at bat.
There's a strike. Jeter 4 for 5 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position so far this season. One. Strike on the inside corner, 1-2.
Yeah, it's a good point by Al about if the Yankees or Jeter comes through here, or the Yankees somehow can score more runs in this inning. Because what happens is you get it to the point where a grand slam home run by the A's will not tie the game. The Yankees would still maintain the lead.
And the count is level at 2-2. Matsui's at third, Ransom's at second, 2 outs. Evelyn has struggled the entire night. And the 2-2. Nice block by Suzuki, saving a run.
Mentioned Suzuki is a very solid defensive catch. Well, that was a tough one because I think that was about 53-footer.
Well, let's see. It bounced him out here. You're right.
That hit him up in the chest area.
That's where you get a breaking ball. You say, geez, there's a runner at third base. You know, I hope my catcher catches it. But you, as a pitcher, you have to say, hey, look, he's going to catch it even if it's in the dirt. I got to throw a good one down out of the zone.
3-2, and he walks Jeter. So the bases are loaded. Now does Guerin go to Dan Geis right now, or lead the lefty in to face Damon? Well, they're going to send out Kurt Young, the pitching coach. This chiropractic telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Dan Geis was one of the final cuts by the Yankees in spring training when they decided whether or not to have a long man. But they couldn't send him out without trying to get him through waivers, and the A's picked him up off waivers. Evelyn is 2 pitches away from his second consecutive 30-pitch inning. That will wear you out. Here's Johnny Damon. Johnny 1 for 2 and an RBI. Inside. Look at the numbers with the bases loaded for Damon. Close to a 400 average and 6 home runs. Matsui at third. Ransom's at second. And Jeter is at first. Strike.
That's a guy who knows that the pitcher is in trouble. The hitter is not. A lot of hitters feel, oh, bases loaded, I got to do it. You even see there a little fastball inside. Johnny was looking for something else. Inner third. I don't want that. I'm comfortable with getting my pitch.
Shattered bat popped up. Cabrera is there and puts it away. So Evelyn escapes without giving up more runs. No runs a hit. And the bases are left loaded. The Yankees have actually left 7 stranded but lead 4-0.
Why do so many people who drive a Honda Accord buy another one? Well, when you have a reputation for quality and reliability, a proven track record for low cost of ownership, and been recognized as the longest lasting car in its class, is it any wonder the Accord has the highest owner loyalty? Yeah, we came up with the same answer. Go to Edmunds.com for an independent report on the true cost to own an Accord. And then see your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing.
Looks like we're in for a bumpy ride. Go ahead, ignore me. But in this turbulent market, you're going to need help protecting some of your assets for retirement. An AXA Equitable Annuity could give you guaranteed income for life. I'd call them, but what do I know? I'm just the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Don't worry, I'm here.
Want guaranteed income for life? AXA Equitable is redefining what you expect from annuities.
Ooh, peanuts.
You only get one breakfast, so come to McDonald's and get 2 hot bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits for just $3.
There's a rainbow round my shoulder and the sky blue above, and I'm shouting so the world will know I'm in love. There's a rainbow round my shoulder and I'm in love.
Jason Giambi leads off here in the 4th inning. And the Yankees lead 4-0. It'll be Giambi, Holiday, and Cust. Giambi robbed of an extra base hit. A great play by Gardner in the 1st in center field. Count 1-0.
Jason coming up on a milestone. He's got 396 career home runs. He's trying to become the 44th player with 400 homers. Nice round number.
Always had a good eye, and he works to count to 3-0 against Pettit.
He has been struggling like a lot of these A's. He's with that great catch by Gardner in center field. He's now 1 for his last 22.
There's a strike. Line drive, and there's a base hit for Giambi in front of Swisher. It's time for the Jeep trivia question. Jeep, have fun out there. Jason Giambi has the most home runs, 209, for the Yankees after leaving the Athletics. Who has the second most? Yankees not holding on Giambi. Here's Matt Holliday. Rockies traded Matt Holliday because they knew they weren't going to be able to sign him. This is an elite player who's going to get elite money in the free agent market. The A's are not giving it to him. But they're going to try to win this year. And with all the injuries that the Angels have had, and tragedy as well, the American League West looks like it's winnable this year.
Well, I would think that, first of all, there's only 4 teams in the division. So if you can really start to move and get hot, then, I mean, everybody's kind of struggling in that division at this point. But you're right about the Angels with their injuries, particularly to the pitching.
Holliday made his major league debut in 2004. He has a lifetime batting average of .319. Now, you always wonder when somebody plays in Colorado how much of it is Colorado and how much of it is the player, but .319 is .319. See his resume there. Won a batting title in 07.
Well, his Colorado numbers are there's a big difference between home and away, and a lot of guys are that way. But I just love this guy. I love the way he approaches the game. He plays it hard. He plays it right.
Good defensive player.
2-2. Driven out to right field. Fair ball, it's trouble. All right, it's a foul ball.
And really, you mentioned, Michael, that the trade that the A's did, they traded Houston Street, Greg Smith, but the main young player was this Carlos Gonzalez. He's an outfielder. But I think that it was kind of a no-brainer. If they are out of it, and you mentioned, Kenny, that this is a 4-division team. The Angels are having their trouble with injuries and the death of McGadenhart and their problems. And I think the A's and even other teams in the West see the problems in the West.
There's a base hit for Holiday as Giambi will move to second.
Well, Michael mentioned the fact that he's one of the better hitters in the game, and there's a pitch about belt high on the inner third in Colorado, or even in the Bronx. That's going to be a base hit. Solid line drive for Matt Holliday.
Cutter, Andy powering in on the hands of Matt Holliday. It's good hitting.
We told you that Holliday has a 319 lifetime average, 357 at Coors Field. So obviously under 300 on the road, 280 on the road, which still isn't terrible. Jack Cuss swings and misses. Last year, Coors Field was the #1 park for hitting, and the Oakland Coliseum is 24th. So we'll see how that affects Holiday's stats.
Well, we always talked about the expansive foul territory at the Coliseum in Oakland. They've never had a batting champion.
How about just a dreary, like foggy, cold Austin? It seems. No.
The 0-1. Line drive, base hit to right field. Giambi will move to third. They're going away from home. Now they hold him up. Swisher throws the ball all the way in. So 3 straight singles, and the bases are loaded.
All of them are hit pretty well. Giambi, Holliday, and Cuss, 3, 4, and 5, the middle of the heart of the order. 3 solid singles off. And let's see what the location of the pitch. That's almost in the middle, kind of an inner third. And Jack Cuss not going to miss that one.
Well, we mentioned Jack Cuss strikes out a lot. He walks a lot, but here's a guy selective enough that he picks his pitch. Every hitter has scout reports, and they know what certain pitchers will do or patterns. And this is a guy who's smart hitter, knows what he's going to decide what Andy Pettit's going to do and let it fly.
Here's Mark Ellis. Grounded and grabbed there by Teixeira. There's one, and there's nobody at first base for the return throw. As Giambi scores, the A's are on the board. Yankees now lead 4-1. Pretty nice play there by Teixeira.
Yeah, he was playing so far off the bag, though, to cut up the hole, and he does. And he has no chance himself to get over to first base. The only one who had a chance was Andy Pettit. We'll watch Andy in this regard. Yeah, he got a decent break, but Derek holds on to the ball, nowhere to throw it.
There's no chance, guys. Yeah. It's a foot race between a slower pitcher and a fast runner. You see Andy, it's just not going to happen. Unless you really, really bust right away, and it's got to be a mediocre runner.
Is there also that hesitation? Because if the ball goes to right field, you've got to back up third or home plate.
No, the hesitation comes from after you deliver. You finish the pitch, and whatever your follow through is, it is what it is. And then there's that little split second of, go. And, that's the difference.
It'd have been easier for a right-handed pitcher to get over there.
Yes.
Because he falls towards first base.
Andy doesn't really fall as much. Dave Righetti used to be a guy that fell way to third base. But you're right, Kenny. Most of the time, right-hander, because of the follow-through, they would generally fall toward first.
He has to shift his weight back to go the other way.
That's right.
Chavez grounded to second in the second. Chavez, one of the few players that the A's have made a long-term commitment to, and it's kind of backfired on them because all he's been is hurt. He's never realized the greatness that they thought he was going to show. Shoulder injuries, and he's missed most of the last couple of seasons. Just hasn't been there. They haven't been able to keep him on the field. He's in the 5th year of a 6-year, $66 million contract. And look at the last 4 seasons. Look what he did in 07. He played 90 games. Last year, he played in 23. So in 05, 27-101, that's what they thought they were getting. And 160 games, but he has not been able to stay on the field.
And you toss in his Gold Glove defense. He won 6 in a row. So they thought they were set at third.
Slow roller up the first baseline, fielded by Pettit, and he throws the ball into the runner. Everybody's safe. Scoring is Holiday, the second run for the A's. And now they're going to call the runner out because he was in the baseline. Now Bob Guerin's going to come out and argue.
Well, Brian Gorman, the home plate umpire, called it right away. He said Andy Pettit had nowhere to throw the ball. Guerin's going to argue here. We're going to check out the Chavez going down the line here. And it does look like he's inside the 45-foot line when the ball hits him. Yeah, definitely he is. You have to run in between those two lines when you get halfway down to first base, and he does not. And the ball hits him, and he's immediately called out. And that means the runners have to go back to their respective bases.
That's the big part of it. Holiday has to go back to third.
So the A's will lose a chance to pick up a run.
The right call was made, but if you look at the box, the way it's drawn up, it's ridiculous that you have to stay in the box, especially you have to almost kick out your foot like a rocket if you stay in the box to touch first base.
Okay, good point. And I think, but coming from the left side is a little different, Michael. From the right side, I give it to you. There's a lot of right-handers that have to force their way on the outside. Here he's just running on the inside of the line. I think there is some latitude if they are on the line, but to the foul territory side. But you could see clearly Chavez was more on the inside part of
the feeling is that halfway down the line, you should be able to make the adjustment and get in between those two lines. That's why it's the 45-foot line. That was a big play. That was a big play.
Grounded and past the dive of Ransom into left field. So Holiday scores anyway, but there is 2 outs rather than 1. Runner moves up, an RBI single for Suzuki. He's 2 for 2 against Pettit. Yankees lead 4-2.
Well, the Yankees obviously with scatter report, Kurt Suzuki has shown enough bunt in his career for Cody Ransom to be up as close as he was. Let's see if we get a. He's playing even with the bag. Hot smash past him. With 2 outs, you'd think play back. And I say you would think that through scatter report, obviously the Yankees know that this guy has bunted before.
Foul ball.
Well, obviously the second time around for the A's has been much more successful against Andy Pettit than the first time. I don't think Andy has made as good of pitches this time around.
Runners go. The 0-2 is outside. Ellis moves to third. Suzuki stayed put at first. That's not great base running. You see one guy go, you're supposed to follow him. But Suzuki stayed put.
A lot of times the runner at second will tell the runner at first, keep your eye on me, because I think I can steal. Well, Suzuki got left at the station while Ellis is moving to third.
Well, Teixeira's playing back. Suzuki definitely should go.
Of course, Andy's more concerned with getting the third out in this inning. He probably didn't pay much attention to Ellis at second.
Starting to rain a little bit here at the stadium. And the 1-2. Fights it off and fouls it off.
Which is usually the case, Kenny. When you have 2 out, 1 out, it's completely different. Obviously, you want to make sure that runner stays at second base because of the sacrifice fly, and there are 13 different ways of scoring for third base with less than 2 outs. You got the number 9 hole hitter, you go after him.
One, two.
Look at it. Almost caught one in the elbow.
See if he doubles up in there, goes soft down and away.
The 2-2. High fly ball left field. Damon is there, and he'll put it away for the final out. But the A's get 2 runs on 4 hits, and they leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 4-2 Yanks.
Every battle has a beginning. All legends have a truth. The time is coming when all that we're afraid of will be all that can save us.
There's a war coming. You sure you're on the right side?
Rated PG-13.
Kyle!
What's up, Mom?
You went on a 29,000-mile joyride in my brand new BMW?
Mom, it's pre-owned.
But your father said it was new.
Yeah, new as in you didn't have it before.
Looks like new, performs like new. And with a warranty for up to 6 years or 100,000 miles, it's hard to believe it's pre-owned.
Wait till your father hears about this.
He knows all about it.
Take advantage of 0.9% financing until April 30th.
Looking for something that the whole crowd will love? How about a box of delicious Dunkin' Donuts? Bring a treat that's perfect for any occasion. With so many varieties to choose from, at Dunkin' Donuts, you can do it. America runs on Dunkin'.
On the next Friday Night SmackDown.
My name is CM Punk.
His style, unique. His attitude, straight edge. And whether he's chasing history.
CM Punk is Mr. Money in the Bank.
Or putting opponents to sleep. Bank on him to come out on top. Keep your eye on CM Punk because you never know when he's going to cash in. Friday Night SmackDown.
Friday at 8 on My 9.
Always nice to get an answer to a trivia question. We gave you the question, the Jeep trivia question. Giambi has the most home runs, 209 for the Yankees after leaving the Athletics. Who has the second most? Who is it?
Roger
Maris.
Oh, Kansas City.
203. Teixeira rips one down the left field line, but foul. Now with the raindrops, we harken back to 2002 when Jason Giambi officially became a Yankee. In extra innings, he had a grand slam. Yankees coming back from 3 down. And after that, he was accepted by his team, accepted by the city. And a big home run for Jason Giambi.
14th inning. And Michael, I don't know if you remember that game. Remember how hard it rained there just after he hit the homer?
I know that you and Kitty were doing that game.
Yeah.
Is there anything better in baseball than a walk-off home run? It's so exciting. Or walk-off hit.
You ever give up a walk-off home run?
Probably.
Probably. Did you?
No. I wasn't in long enough.
The Twins had just scored 3 runs in the top of the 14th inning, and Giambi hit a grand slam to win.
That's only the second grand slam in Major League history where a team came back from 3 runs down in extra innings. The other one was by Babe Ruth.
It's pretty good company.
Not bad.
The Bambino and the Giambino.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Blew it right by Teixeira. 1 away. Now the Yankees announced today that Chien-Ming Wang is going to go down to Tampa and work, as you see Teixeira swing through strike 3, and work with the Tampa coaches. Now he's not being sent down because 3 years in the big leagues you can't be sent down without going to waivers or having your permission. So they're skipping him over in their start for Boston. And they're going to send him down to Tampa where he's going to work, throw 100 pitches under their watchful eye. And there are a lot of reasons why you do that. If you keep him up here, Dave Island has 11 other pitchers he has to deal with. And he can't devote all of his time to Chien-Ming Wang. So they end up sending him down there, and he'll spend his time down there looking at film, looking at tape, and working on the mound. Good idea or bad?
I think it's great. I think he knows that he needs to get some work in. It's non-result like. You don't have to worry about a consequence of an umpire in Major League game and ERA and numbers and all that. He needs to continue to pitch. And watching him, and it's only through the games that I watch on the network here, haven't been through that. And maybe, Kenny, you could take us through a long slump, but, so long as a player doesn't focus on the bad numbers, and I know it's difficult, hitters especially, because you got these scoreboards everywhere and you see the bad crooked number, but here's a guy that 19-game winner. So long as he's healthy, and that would be my biggest concern, Michael, is that there is something wrong. Now that foot is important. We talked about the knees of Hideki Matsui. If he's not getting the same push, or all of that doesn't feel the same, then there's a concern. And a good changeup from Evelyn. So he says he feels fine, and it's a matter of him working it out. I watched the game in Tampa, and at least through the first inning, I know he's got to establish that sinker. He threw 19 pitches, of which 17 were sinkers and 2 changeups.
But you can't ignore that number. He's got to know 34.50. It's going to take him months to get that down.
You know what? If he does, it's going to be a bad year all the way through. I think you look at it and you say, I have 31 more, let's see, 34. You have 30 starts or 29 starts. He still has a shot of winning 19 if he gets it right. And I'm not delusional. This guy's got great stuff. You can't, when you have one pitch and it's not working, and I can relate to this because I threw a lot of cutters, primarily cutter. You have to have something else to fall back to be able to throw a strike and get into the count. So I understand about establishing his number one pitch is his sinker, but he's got to be able to throw his second pitch for a strike, for a called strike. And the same thing with A.J. Burnett. When he was with the Marlins and spraying balls all over the place, 95, 100 miles an hour, he got to a point where he recognized, I need to get a called strike curveball, not a put-away strikeout pitch, but a curveball, so that guys get off my fastball. And I think it's the same thing with Chim-Ming Wang. He's got to show hitters that he could throw something off-beat for a called strike. With the assumption and that his sinker is right.
It appears his next start's going to be in Detroit. That's what it looks like.
On a bigger ballpark.
Yeah. Well, it's not so much that. I mean, they got major league hitters there too. They got Miguel Cabrera, led the league in home runs last year. He's got to get the sinker down. That's exactly what he's got to do. And I think it's good that they're sending him down where he can work on it.
Base hit for Cano. So, but then the question is this: he says he's healthy. He's not going to the trainer's room.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. You worry about his arm, fine. He says his ankle is fine after the Lisfranc sprain, and that would be his push-off foot on the rubber. Why isn't it sinking out? I mean, you could say he's got to come up with the second pitch. He can come up with the second pitch, and if that sinker doesn't sink, he's not winning. He's just not winning.
You know what? It becomes mental, and I know I've talked about this a lot with you guys, and I believe it because I lived it. You could have good stuff and stop believing it. Everybody else is telling you, get your sinker, bore down, get ahead and all this. But if you don't believe it, and then you go into your start, you have a terrible first inning or two, as he's been, it just snowballs, and you stop believing. You stop believing in your stuff. That's what I believe that. If he feels fine, and mechanically, I talked to Dave Allen, he had a great side day today, and I know it's only on the side, but you got to start from somewhere. When you start recognizing it's about execution of pitches and not the end result, that's when you turn it around. It's just like as a hitter. If you're struggling, you want a good at bat. You hit the ball hard 4 times, I got something.
You draw a walk.
You draw a walk.
Yeah, I think that it gets to be mental after a while for a pitcher or a hitter. When you are struggling and all of a sudden they're racky-tacking you all over the park as a pitcher and you can't seem to figure it out, I think it's something mechanical, as subtle as it might be, just the way he holds his head or the way he turns his shoulder, just something's not working, and he's keeping that sinker up in the zone. And as opposed, and they say he's not throwing it as hard either. So maybe that's it. If it's something mechanical, he can force the ball down in the zone with a little more authority.
The 1-1. Do you think it's a good idea to skip him over the Boston start?
Yeah, in particular after yesterday's rainout, I think it's a good idea because then you can push Andy Pettitte back to today, and it gives the Yankees one more day to recoup him not pitching. And there's an off day on Thursday as well. So I think it's a good thing that it appears they don't need a 5th starter until they get to Detroit, and it's going to be his turn. So he'll be down in Tampa working. He'll come back and face the Titans.
He's a big boy. There's no disguise of the fact. He knows he's struggling. Absolutely. Let him get away from it. It's like a hitter struggling for a few days. Everybody's talking about it. The writers coming up. Everybody. Get him away from it a little bit. There's no question about it. You get an opportunity to skip a start.
Now, he said, I get paid to pitch. I want to pitch against the Red Sox. So he's saying he wants to pitch, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't say he wants to be skipped over. But do you think that let's say the Yankees were playing the Texas Rangers. Would
I'd
you
still
still
do
skip them?
I'd still do
Yeah,
it.
me
I
too.
think there's enough going on there, mentally and mechanically. And you mentioned about the mechanics. Dave Island was talking about him breaking his hands a little sooner so he gets on top in a better lever system of getting toward better direction to home plate. All of that. Yes, Michael, it's key because it snowballs, and that's exactly what's happened. And it's only 3 starts. You get 34 starts.
Did you ever go through an extended slump like that as a pitcher?
Absolutely. And the worst thing about this is what? It's his first 3 starts out. If this was in July and he was 9-4, it would get disguised somewhat. I mean, I know the 34.5, you can't hide that. But, you know, there would be some base.
There's times during the season when your ERA is going to be a lot higher than what you're going to finish. Look out. Little calling card from Nick Swisher. I like the way he bounced right back in there. Get back in there, Nick. Don't let him do that to you.
Well, you don't want anybody to go for neck or inside, but there's no question about it. You show me a good pitcher, and I'll show you somebody who throws inside effectively.
Yeah, but you show me a good hitter, he's going to get right back in there, too.
Now, he got knocked down against Tampa Bay and came right back and hit a home run. 1 pitch later.
Look for something soft down and away.
Runner goes. Fouled away. As you can see, a light mist falling here in the stadium. First night game ever, regular season night game ever here at the new Yankee Stadium.
Best comeback I ever saw for a hitter. We're playing an all-star tour in Japan, and one of the pitchers knocked down Eddie Byrne. Next pitch was hit out of the stadium, 520 feet. We were yelling at the pitcher to knock us down.
3-2. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. And Nick Swisher said, how do you call it here? You should ask the first base umpire. And most hitters say that. There's no way you could look at the pitch and know if I swung. And that's his only complaint, is that he didn't ask C.B. Buckner. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 4-4-2 Yanks.
Blimpie has been a part of America's tradition for over 40 years. Our subs are made with fresh baked breads, quality meats and cheeses sliced to order. Taste the difference freshness makes. Blimpie, America's sub shop.
We created Hyundai Assurance to offer up a little peace of mind. And for a limited time, we've even gone and added something extra. A plus. If you lose your income, we'll make your payments for 3 months while you get back on your feet. And if you need help beyond that, you can still bring the car back.
Along with Hyundai Assurance Plus, right now the 09 Sonata comes with up to $3,500 cash back. Don't miss out. Hurry to your participating Hyundai dealer today.
Right now at Men's Warehouse, when you buy 1 designer suit, you'll get 1 free. That's right, 2 suits for less than the price of 1 at a department store. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Dames en heren, we gaan beginnen!
Exceptionally brewed for a taste that's pure Amsterdam. Amstel Light, one damn good beer.
Ryan Sweeney takes a strike from Andy Pettit as we are underway here in the 5th inning. Now, games around the majors on the East Coast of the United States are either being held up or postponed. The Red Sox game has been postponed. The BP Amoco scoreboard shows 4-2. Yankees leading the top of the 5th. So there's rain in this area. And now this inning becomes very important. You get through this inning, it's an official game. And now you see the Twins and the Red Sox postponed because of rain. And there's a strike. Now, we've been talking about Chin-Ming Wong. And with Wong struggling, the importance of Andy Pettit is only amplified. So Soft ground ball to second. Cano is there. And Sweeney is out. Hey, tomorrow on the Yes Network, the Yankees close out the series against the A's with coverage starting at 12:30. Then Friday, the Yankees kick off their weekend series with the Red Sox in Boston. The coverage will start at 6 with batting practice today and the pregame, and Saturday turn to Yes after the final out for the WB Mason postgame only on Yes. Here's Orlando Cabrera. There's a strike. Anyway, getting back to Pettit, there was some consternation during the offseason. He turned down an offer and waited, and then the offer got lower. He ended up signing with the Yankees because he really desperately wanted to play here at the new ballpark. Now, this is his third start of the season. His first two are outstanding. And, it almost looked like Ovica. What did they need Pettit after signing Sabathia and Burnett and already having a #1 starter in Wong? But you see Wong struggling. Boy, Pettit's pretty important right now.
You think? Also, I would add the whole, the job of Chamberlain starting relieving thing. And obviously the Yankees are set on that, but there's still different camps around baseball fans as to where Jabba Chamberlain fits best. So I think there was a little bit of that.
You'd also have to add the pitchers pitching at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. How about Phil Hughes, who I believe has gotten off to a pretty good start? I know he was 2-0. So I don't know what he did in his third start.
And he had a very good spring training, Phil Hughes, as well. The 0-2 outside 1-2. I actually asked Pettit about a week ago, and you see where Andy stands on the Yankee win list, 10 behind lefty Gomez, if this was indeed his last year. Another broken bat. Ball grabbed by Pettit, and he flips it to Shera. Two-way, and he said, you know what, I can't say that. He goes, it's going to how I feel. It's going to what my family says. He said, but I'm not going to say that this is definitely going to be my last year. I mean, it's tough to give this up, and he's still a good pitcher.
You mentioned family, and we all get to a point in our career where, something pulls on us. And if he's got his family in the right place and he's still effective, I mean, you mentioned him, last year he was 14 wins. Previous year, 15 wins. He's more than serviceable. Obviously, the way he's starting out here, he looks in great shape.
He's left-handed.
He's left-handed. 36. I think now, of course, I'm older than that, but 36, I don't consider that old anymore.
That's because, what are you, 50 now?
He's just a baby.
55.
It is amazing how your perspective changes as you get older, because when you were 20, 36 seemed old. Now you're trying to sell us that it's not.
You know what happens? The sands through the hourglass start running a little quicker as you get older.
So are the days of our lives, Kenny. The 1-1.
Well, I did know this. At my first year as a Yankee, I was 21, and Tommy John was in the same rotation. He was 46. And I did feel like that was old.
How old are you now, Al?
I'm 43.
The 1-2. And Giambi lofts one to right field. Swisher's there, and a 1-2-3 inning for Andy Pettit. A bounce back from that rough fourth, and it also makes it an official ball game. We're halfway through. Yankees 4, Athletics 2.
Looks like we're in for a bumpy ride. Go ahead, ignore me. But in this turbulent market, you're going to need help protecting some of your assets for retirement. An AXA Equitable Annuity could give you guaranteed income for life. I'd call them, but what do I know? I'm just the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Don't worry, I'm here.
Want guaranteed income for life? AXA Equitable is redefining what you expect from annuities.
Ooh, peanuts.
Looking for something that the whole crowd will love? How about a box of delicious Dunkin' Donuts? Bring a treat that's perfect for any occasion. With so many varieties to choose from, at Dunkin' Donuts, you can do it. America runs on Dunkin'.
This is your movies on demand screen.
Oh, cool. So what are you going to do next? What, who are you? Who is he?
It's okay. Well, I'm going to
activate over 100 HD channels, program his remote, sync his TV with his computer. Wow, it's like you've been watching him all day.
Have you been watching me all day?
No.
Switch to Verizon Fios and get the ultimate home entertainment experience. Plus up to $150 back. This is Fios. This is big.
This isn't the soft kind of luxury. This is start a business, sell it, and then start another one luxury. This is advanced digital IV tech luxury. It can find you an uncrowded highway or a crowded club. The Acura TSX. Luxury for a new generation.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on the 2009 Acura TSX for well-qualified customers.
Hey, New York, could you use a good laugh? Well, My 9 delivers every weeknight, starting at 6 with the King of Queens, and then at 7 with Tyler Perry's House of Pain. Watch as Doug and Curtis put the fun in dysfunction. King of Queens at 6, and Tyler Perry's House of Pain at 7. Weeknights on My 9. It's time now for the Verizon Fios call to the bullpen. Verizon Fios over 100 HC channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. And the new pitcher is Andrew Bailey. On the BP Amico scoreboard, it's 4-2, Yankees lead. Now, Bailey has been unbelievable this season. 8 1/3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts.
Here was a guy, non-roster, comes to camp and really impresses everybody. Talking to Bob Guerin, the manager, said he came in and every single outing he was money.
Lofted to left field. Holiday is there. Well, he also has a little bit of a local tie-in, does Andrew Bailey. He is from Wagner College in Staten Island. And Andrew Bailey is the first player from Wagner College to play in the big leagues since Kurt Blefary back in the 1960s.
Oh, Kurt Blefary.
So they are very, very proud at Wagner College. He's from Voorhees, New Jersey. Here's Cody Ransom. If that gun is right at 98, you can see why he impressed people. 98 miles an hour.
He only walked 2 in spring training in 13 2/3 innings.
That's just gas.
Cut, too. This guy was a starter through the minor leagues. He has not been above the AA level until now. And he picked up a cutter.
Keeps throwing like that, he'll never see AAA.
You talk about late movement. Bailey, you know, we just saw 98, 95. He has a closer mentality. I spoke with him a little bit. You mentioned about Wagner College. He's actually from down in South Jersey. You mentioned Voorhees, from Haddon Heights, New Jersey. Grew up a Phillies fan.
Swing and miss, and then he throws in an off-speed pitch.
You have that combination of a 95-plus moving fastball, and then this is a hook right here. He throws a little across his body, which is good in the sense of being able to stay closed. You hide the baseball, and you get tight spin. That is a great curveball. It's almost impossible to be able to have both speeds covered. Got to under that 95-plus and then a 78-mile-an-hour curveball.
He's thrown 8 pitches, all of them strikes. It's a good way to pitch. And he deals a strike to Brett Gardner. Gardner, 2-run single in the second, grounded softly to second in the third.
Yeah, those cutters there. You see that 93, 91. That's a good fastball for him to be able to cut the ball in on the lefty.
Reminds you, Al, when you came out of Jersey with the best fastball in the state?
No, I didn't have that. I did ask him. I said, you know, nothing against the Wagner program, but you just mentioned the last major leaguer was a 1965 American League Rookie of the Year. He said he was 5'5" in high school his freshman year, and he had no offers.
Worked out for Wagner, and it works out for him now.
Went through a growth spurt, huh?
5'5"
as a freshman.
So what is he now, about 6'4"?
No, I don't think he's that tall.
2-2. Soft ground ball to second. Ellis charges. Bare hands got him. So here he is pitching at Yankee Stadium for Mr. Bailey. It's a wonderful life. He retires the Yankees in order 1, 2, 3 as we go to the 6, 4, 2 Yanks.
That's crazy.
Weber Grills. An espresso brown. Incredible.
Yeah. Choice deck. No staining, no sealing.
Spring starts at Lowe's. Time to get everything you need to start living outdoors again.
That's amazing.
And they coordinate with the seat cushions.
And it's all at everyday low prices. Guaranteed. Lowe's. Let's build something together.
After 86 years at the same address, greatness has a new home. Join the Yankees as they celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium with an old tradition, Cap Day. On Sunday, May 3rd, the first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a Yankees cap courtesy of Zales. Yankee Stadium, the inaugural season.
When the wrong guys get the wrong package.
What is this? Celebrate, baby.
What could possibly go right? Donald Faison, Mike Epps, and Bo Staff.
Can I say one thing? What?
I like your outfit.
Next day air, rated R, May 8th.
If you're shopping for a car, you should know that Toyota has been rated the most fuel-efficient full-line car manufacturer on the road today. No matter what the price of gas does, it's good to know Toyota quality saves money. And now you can get 0% financing for 60 months, or $1,000 cash back on the Toyota Yaris, or lease a Corolla for just $159 a month. But hurry, these offers end May 4th. Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward.
Well, we go to the 6th inning here at Yankee Stadium. Yankees leading the A's 4-2. Matt Holliday will lead off. Yankees with 9 hits, the A's with 7, and Pettit deals. High fly ball, shallow left. Damon comes on, and one pitch went out. Time for the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Blimpie, America's sub shop. As we mentioned, a lot of rain out there. It's finally underway in Baltimore. The White Sox and the Orioles scoreless bottom of the first. Texas and Toronto 3-3, bottom of the 6th. Minnesota Boston has been postponed. Tampa Bay at Seattle, that's a 10-10 start at Safeco. In the National League, 3-1 Atlanta leads Washington top of the 3rd. Philadelphia over Milwaukee 8-3, bottom of the 5th. Pittsburgh leads Florida 3-1, bottom of the 7th. And the Mets jump out to a 2-0 lead over the Cardinals in the bottom of the 2nd inning at Busch. Here's Jack Cust, and there's a strike.
How about the Marlins start? Who would have thunk it?
They got some good pitchers.
Young, power, good strong arms, young, athletic team. You talk about what the A's have done, now the Marlins.
A lot of people wonder if the Marlins could keep it up, though. They have terrible defense, and they have a questionable bullpen. Their starters are outstanding. And another thing that people don't like, and you see the A's here, the beginning of Moneyball, taking pitches, working the count. They have a lot of strikeouts in that order. They have good hitters, but they don't take pitches, and they don't walk, and they strike out a lot.
Home run hitting team.
Yep. Cust, ground ball to Teixeira, and there's 2 away. Hey fans, celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium on Sunday, May 3rd with a longtime Yankee Stadium tradition. That's Cap Day. The first 18,000 fans in attendance are going to receive a Yankees cap courtesy of Zales. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. You can visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Here's Mark Ellis, 0 for 2 with an RBI ground out. There's a strike from Pettit. We saw this a lot last year. Pettit always had that one bad inning, and if he escaped it relatively unscathed, he usually went on to win the game. Now, he gave up 2 runs in the 4th inning, but stranded 2. And it just seems so weird, a veteran guy, but you could fall out of sync in an inning, and you just have to correct it.
Getting out of sync is probably some of it, but let's face it, the hitters could feed off of a pitcher that's not making good pitches.
And then sometimes you get lucky. A hard line drive is caught. An 8-pitch inning for Andy Pettit, which is what you love here in the 6th. So he has retired the last 7 A's in a row. The captain picks it off his shoe tops as we go to the bottom of the 6th, and he says, wow.
Employee Pricing Plus Plus is in its final month at your Chrysler and Jeep dealer. You get our employee price, plus a $2,500 combined cash allowance, plus $500 auto show bonus cash, which all adds up to over $6,500 in savings on a new Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4. Plus, well-qualified buyers get 0% financing. All on top of our best-in-the-business lifetime powertrain warranty, giving you even more value and peace of mind. See your Chrysler and Jeep dealer today.
Looking for something that the whole crowd will love? How about a box of delicious Dunkin' Donuts? Bring a treat that's perfect for any occasion. With so many varieties to choose from, at Dunkin' Donuts, you can do it. America runs on Dunkin'.
I hear it from people all the time. They love our city, but it's expensive and it's hard to make ends meet, especially in these tough economic times. I understand these challenges, and we're doing something about it.
For these tough times, Mike Bloomberg's 5-borough economic opportunity plan will help New Yorkers. The plan provides millions in loans for small businesses, expands job training and placement services, offers help for homeowners to prevent foreclosures, provides food assistance to seniors and financial counseling through 311. The Bloomberg plan helps New Yorkers hurt by the economy and will create or save 400,000 jobs.
New York is the greatest place to live and raise a family. And with independent leadership that puts people ahead of partisanship, we can make this city more affordable and keep our middle class right here.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, an 8-pitch, 1-2-3 inning for Andy Pettitte in the top of the inning. And this is the top of the Yankee order against Andrew Bailey. And the pitch. There's that good, crisp fastball.
If the Yankee hitters are sitting on the bench watching this, they know they're going to have to dial it up when they get to the plate.
Now that's a swing right there where Derek Jeter will pick a spot in the at-bat, get away from his conventional inside-out, right center swing, and try to go yard ball to left field, as he did there. Just missed it.
Check swing, slow roller back to the mound. And there's one away. Along with Al Leiter and Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on My 9. We thank you for joining us on this Tuesday evening. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning at the new stadium, and the Yankees lead the A's 4-2. First game of what is now an abbreviated 2-game set. The game rained out last night will be made up in July. Here's Johnny Damon. Pitch upstairs.
Now, I got a question for you. Bailey was in the minor leagues last year, Double-A, Midland. He was a starting pitcher at the beginning of the year, went 1-8 with a 6.58 ERA. Then they moved him to the bullpen. And he dealt out of the bullpen. He went 4-1, 0.92 ERA. And opponents hit 207 against him.
Now, how's that possible?
Yeah, how does that happen?
I'll tell you. Well, I think a couple things. He added this cutter. That's a cutter right there. He added the pitch. The mindset as a starter, when you think you get into a start, okay, I have to go 7+, 8. Forget about starters. Don't think about complete games anymore. They like to have one. And it's a different mind. You come in, you give it all you got, you let it out, empty the tank, and from the looks of this, and we saw his numbers on the year so far and just how he's going about it, he's got, it seems to be a demeanor that suits a bullpen mentality.
He works fast, I'll say that.
He works fast. Yeah. He's got an aggressive kind of look to him. And it was this cutter. Gil Patterson, who's the roving pitching instructor for the Oakland A's now, he's one of my coaches with the Yankees. He was also with the Yankees.
Good pitching coach.
Very good. Respect him. Gentleman. He helped him come up with a cutter. And I asked Bailey, and he said, absolutely. And Gil showed him how to throw it, and he developed this pitch. And it's just another added weapon to an arsenal when you know you already have plus stuff. And the advantage of it is when you're missing with your fastball, you could trust that a cutter like that.
That one's driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. Home run, Johnny Damon. And the Yankee lead is now 5-2.
Big league hitters Even if you have a good solid pitch like a cutter, if you don't get it where you want it, it's going to go. Johnny was quick inside on that one. They're going to have to rub up a new one.
The pitch to Teixeira outside.
Again, about scatter report, and I mentioned about his cutter, and he's been effective. Nice piece of hitting by Johnny. That was the first home run given up by Bailey.
First run?
First run. It is about execution, Kenny, and you mentioned it. But here's a smart hitter, veteran major league hitter. Saw the previous inning with the at-bats of Brett Gardner and Matsui where he was throwing those cutters. I don't know whether he went down and looked at some video or just solely relied on Kevin Long as they talk about scatter report. As you see, that cutter didn't get in enough. You know, a guy like Johnny Damon would sit on a pitch as either through the entire bat knowing that he's going to get it. And unless the pitcher makes the execution of it and hits the spot, a hitter like that, he'll deposit in the seats.
Well, that's the 21st home run hit here at Yankee Stadium. And there they are by direction. 5 to left, 1 to center, and 15 to right. And that's the most home runs ever hit the first 5 games of a stadium's existence. That one is driven to center field. Davis back. And there's 2 outs. Now, before anybody gets too excited, boy, people are getting excited about the home runs at this ballpark. I think it was on the back page of the Daily News today. Meteorologists spoke about it. Check this out. There were 26 home runs hit over a 4-game span at the old stadium less than 2 years ago, July 22nd through August 2nd, 2007. And there were also 20 home runs hit over a 4-game span at the old ballpark in 04, 03, and 0. So in 2000. So it happens. And as you said about Chien-Ming Wang, Al, it's noticed because it's the first games ever at the ballpark. And we'll see how the ballpark plays.
Just as long as astronauts are not talking about it.
Sooner or later.
No, but that's good. That's a good stat you bring up because it does happen and it goes unnoticed. But here, the beautiful brand new stadium and everybody's talking about the amenities and how wonderful this place is, and then you have the home run string. You know, go into each pitch and each at bat and hard. You know, right now tonight there's some thick, heavy air. It's cold.
Now, there were some home runs out of the 21 that you kind of said, wow, he's off balance off the end of it. But that home run by Johnny Damon is out anyway.
That's going.
He crushed that ball. And also the Yankees felt that the balls weren't carrying on Sunday. That Posada's disputed home run would have been like 10 rows back on the previous 3 games. So it's all according to how the wind is coming into the stadium. And then they think the wind patterns will change when the old stadium is torn down. And Posada takes a called third strike from Andrew Bailey. Well, Andrew Bailey finally gives up a run in the big leagues. Johnny Damon crushes a cutter into the second deck in right field. And the Yankees lead 5-2 as we go to the 7th.
Reinvent traffic. We reinvented how the driver navigates around it. With advanced XM real-time traffic and predictive weather, suddenly the world's not so complex. The all-new 2010 Lexus RX. Lease the 2010 RX 350 for $529 a month for 36 months with $39.79 due at signing at your Lexus dealer.
Right now at Men's Warehouse, when you buy 1 designer suit, you'll get 1 free. That's right, 2 suits for less than the price of 1 at a department store. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
BP gasoline with Invigorate helps your car run younger for longer. All grades of BP gasoline have Invigorate. When used continuously, it can help clean and protect engines against harmful deposits, sludge, and corrosion. BP gasoline with Invigorate. To help your car run younger for longer, try BP gasoline with Invigorate.
So your son, now this here is value. Getting what you want and not paying too much for it.
So, when I used to mow the lawn and you only pay me $2.
That's value.
While I wash the car.
Value.
Clean out the garage.
Value.
Value for you, maybe.
and a valuable lesson for you.
Great food at a great price. You can't argue with that. Or this. Right now, 2 beefy double cheeseburgers are just $3. Hurry, though. Offer ends April 30th.
I'm going to take mom out next time.
This Sunday, celebrate a New York tradition with the 2009 Greek Independence Day Parade live on My 9. Don't miss the music, the dance, and the pride as My 9 brings you the largest Greek cultural event in the United States. Live, the 2009 Greek Independence Day Parade, Sunday at 2 p.m., live on My 9. There's a breaking ball strike to Eric Chavez as we start the 7th. Amstel Light scoreboard, 5-2, Yankees lead. The 0-1. 1-1.
Watching Andy Pettitte work these last couple of innings, the 5th and the 6th, and now here into the 7th. He and Jorge Posada have a nice rhythm going. They're just about the same amount of time between pitches.
Sky high pop-up. Posada makes the play.
As opposed to the 3rd and 4th inning when he struggled somewhat, I think particularly with his control of his pitches. Here's Posada. Well, that ball was up there, and he makes a nice play. Made it look easy.
Yankee bullpen getting busy. Jonathan Albaladeo came up big on Sunday. And Phil Koch. 92 pitches for Pettitte. Pitch to Kurt Suzuki is upstairs. Andy Pettitte in the old stadium, 95-42. A 3.70 ERA. Lifetime against the A's, 10-5 with a 3.77. The 1-0. Hit sharply foul.
Well, I've always thought that there's definitely something to be said for a player feeling comfortable against certain uniforms. And you know, over the years, Andy Pettitte, 10-5, has faced different players as they come and go. You feel comfortable for whatever reason. It's a psychological thing. There you see the great numbers against the A's. And conversely, there's some other. It's odd, especially stadiums, road stadiums, when it's away from your home and you just don't feel comfortable on that mound. Sure, the same as a hitter, you have certain backdrops. And, I don't know, maybe you felt. Did you feel that as a hitter for certain teams?
Well, certain teams had better pitching than other teams.
No, but even over a period of your career, if you 10, 15-year career, you have different pitchers that cycle through.
Yeah.
There's a strike.
Not so much when you played. There wasn't free agency, right?
Well, there was, yeah. Of course there was. I found out overnight I was worth 3 times the money I was making the year before.
At the O's?
Yeah. Decided they wanted to keep me. It cost them. Not in today's sense of money, but back then it was pretty big.
(3-2). Dribbled slowly at the third baseline. That's going to be trouble. Ransom has to eat it, and Kurt Suzuki's 3 for 3.
Well, this is the moment as a, if you watch this and the frustration and euphoria of the player, swinging bunt, good pitch by Pettitte. Ransom putting it in his back pocket. Yes, it's a hit. But then you got the line drive out. So they say it all evens out.
There's Rajay Davis. He's 1 for 2. Grounded to Ransom, but it goes under his glove. It stayed down. He kept the glove up, and that'll be a base hit. Many people think that could have been a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play.
Yeah, Davis runs pretty well, but the ball was hit sharply, and Ransom was up on the grass, so he would have had a chance to get it to Cano quickly. You can see didn't get the glove down far enough underneath the glove and on into the outfield for a base hit. The inning's going to continue. Yeah, that ball was hit. They would have had a chance to turn 2.
Oh, he did. But Cody Ransom would tell you after the game that he should have had that.
Well, Dave Island comes out and talks with Andy Pettitte. Hey, if you're traveling and outside the Yankees' home territory, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. The ultimate baseball experience featuring 100 out-of-market games per week live on your computer, as well as those you missed on demand. For more details, visit Yankees.com, where baseball is always on. Sweeney swings and misses. On a crummy night here in the Bronx, 42,065 the attendance at the stadium. Two good pitches by Pettitte. Sweeney swings over the top, count 0-2.
Yeah, if you're a fielder and you've just made a play that was not a very good one, you like to see this from your pitcher. He starts to bear down, and then if he can, punch that next guy out.
Go that again. 2 in a row. Sweeney showed he doesn't have a good look at it. Slider down the way.
The 0-2. Tried to pull that pitch, and Teixeira will step on the bag for the second out as the runners move up. Now Cabrera becomes a very big batter in this game. A base hit, and all of a sudden a game that the Yankees seem like they have in control. It's 5-4. So this is a big at bat.
One thing I felt about Cabrera in all the years I've watched him play, you want to keep the ball away from this guy. He's very quick inside. Just when you think you can sneak one in on his hands, he is very quick.
$102 pitches for Pettitte. And the pitch is low and inside, 1-0. Cabrera, for some reason, on a 3-1 pitch with runner at first in the first inning, laid down a sacrifice bunt. Then grounded to second and grounded back to the mound. The A's are 3 for 11 with runners in scoring position today. And the pitch. Grounded foul outside of third.
Andy leading off Cabrera, as you say, Kenny, he'll jump you, even though he's at shortstop and he doesn't have an imposing stature. He can hit the ball out of the park. Leading up to today's career against Eddie Petty, he's 3 for 9 with 1 home run, 1 strikeout. Today, 0 for 3. 2 changeups in a row. Andy recognizing this guy's a good fastball hitter.
1-1. And a soft ground ball toward Ransom. He fields across the diamond. Pettitte pumps his fist, and he gets out of trouble and gives the Yankees 7 strong innings. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch here at Yankee Stadium. And Andy Pettitte likes what he sees as he works out of a jam. Well, we're going to stay right here in the Bronx as we honor America.
Stationed around the globe. Especially remember those who have lost their lives defending our freedom and our way of life. Now please join Kate Smith as she sings God Bless America.
We gave the C-Class high-strength steel reinforcements. Improved aerodynamics, top and bottom. and 100 years of racing heritage only we can provide. You may not see all that went into making the C-Class, but you will feel it. See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a special offer through Mercedes-Benz Financial.
CJ's parenting skills are put to the test.
Look, Jasmine, I'm cooking your favorite.
Tyler Perry's House of Pain.
Tomorrow at 7 on My 9.
Dames en heren, we gaan beginnen!
Exceptionally brewed for a taste that's pure Amsterdam. Amstel Light, one damn good beer.
We created Hyundai Assurance to offer up a little peace of mind. And for a limited time, we've even gone and added something extra. A plus. If you lose your income, we'll make your payments for 3 months while you get back on your feet. And if you need help beyond that, you can still bring the car back.
Along with Hyundai Assurance Plus, right now the 08 Elantra comes with $2,000 cash back. Don't miss out. Hurry to your participating Hyundai dealer today.
Stay tuned for the Verizon Fios game wrap-up after the game on My 9 News.
Ball on the Amstel Light scoreboard as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Yankees lead the A's 5-2. The A's have got their hits, as you can see. They haven't been able to pick up the big ones. Yankees just have out-hit them by 1, but they've outscored them by 3, and that's the important column up on the scoreboard. And Santiago Casilla comes on in relief. Third pitcher used by Bob Guerin. The A's do not have a left-hander in the bullpen. Pitch is outside the Cano.
This guy also, Mike Bailey, nasty stuff. You'll see upwards of 95, 96 miles an hour.
He's just warming up. The first one was 94. Sometimes his control can be spotty. You saw the 6 walks and 5 strikeouts.
Brian Bruni, who's been lights out for the Yankees, will pitch the 8th. And Cano lost one down the left field line, and that'll be out of play. Now, I wonder if there's any coincidence to this. When Robinson Cano got benched in September, since that point, he is 39 for 98. So he's hitting over 400 since he got benched. Now, I know that they made some mechanical adjustments as well, but you wonder, did that wake him up?
Maybe a little bit of both, Michael. Nobody likes to be embarrassed with a benching.
Ellis throws him out, 1 away. And look at what all the hitting has done. Joe Girardi moves him up to number 5 in the lineup. A lot of people think that he is a number 3 type hitter. That's how good he can be.
Well, I think you got to believe. Not to say that he's going to do the 343 a couple years ago. You know, almost battled there with Jeter and Mauer for the hitting title, but has shown that all through the minor leagues, and he has a beautiful swing, balanced and centered.
I asked Joe Girardi, do you think it was the benching? He said, well, if it wasn't, I was stupid. I should have benched him on opening day. There's a ground ball to third. Chavez guns down Swisher, and there are 2 outs.
One thing about Casilla's fastball, he's got a little sink to it. 94, 95 with some movement.
This was the guy a couple of years ago. His name was, well, I guess his name is Santiago Casilla, but he was Jairo Garcia. And in January of 2006, he actually gained 2 years and 10 months. So he had to reveal his real birthday. And then became Santiago Casilla. He's been with the A's all through his professional career.
Well, they actually check up on things like that a little more closely.
Well, since 9/11.
Yeah, since 9/11. Make sure you are actually the person you say you are when you come into the country.
So he was the player to be named later.
He gained 2 years, you said?
2 years, 10 months.
Was he the one that they brought out a birthday cake with 2 more candles on it? I think that he was the guy.
Well, he's got, I don't care, 26 or 28 years old, whatever he wants to say. He's got some big league stuff.
Yeah, he's got a good arm.
What was his former first name, did you say, Al?
Gyro? Gyro.
Maybe that's why he changed it.
Gyro?
Jairo.
Gyro.
Say that well.
I'm going to be in Spanish class.
Really? You better be in Spanish class. That was pretty much it. You throw 98 for this high school, you better be in Spanish class. The 1-1. 2-1.
You know, the interesting thing about that, I learned more Spanish in winter ball than I did in school. You know, just going to class. I mean, you hear it all the time.
Watching soap operas.
No. Just on the streets.
In the minor leagues, when the Latin players come here, a lot of them say they learn much of their English watching daytime television.
Yeah. Oh, my darling, stuff like that. I would never leave you. Stuff like that.
And Matsui just swinging the bat better of late. Lines a single to center field. He's 2 for 3 tonight.
Well, Matsui slashed a double down the left field line. This time it was more of a Matsui swing. We've come to. There's that movement on that fastball, but Matsui, look at it, head down. Watch it follow the ball. Watch the head, just eyes right on the ball and a follow through on the swing. That is more like the Matsui power swing we've seen over the years. His second hit of the night. Maybe starting to wake up a bit here. First multi-hit game of the season for Hideki Matsui.
Breaking ball to Cody Ransom.
Been on base 3 times tonight.
Cody has trouble with that breaking ball. He can hit a fastball, but put a little wrinkle in it. He's got to dedicate himself to going to the right side. Now you wonder if a pitcher or catcher will try to outsmart the batter. Now he's got on 2 breaking balls. If you try to surprise him with a fastball,
I wouldn't.
Just go with the breaking ball again. Breaking ball again, and that one whispers across the outside corner as Ransom starts to get booed here at the stadium. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. He has struggled. The Yankees have not tonight. They lead 5.
Mark, we have teams on both coasts that are interested, but Milos only wants to play for Dallas.
Milos really wants to play for Brussels. Milos only wants to play for Shanghai. Buenos Aires. Frankfurt. Milos really wants to play for Rome.
How's your Japanese?
We know why you fly. We're American Airlines. American lets you choose from 5 nonstops to London every business day.
Right now at Men's Warehouse, when you buy 1 designer suit, you'll get 1 free. That's right, 2 suits for less than the price of 1 at a department store. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Looks like we're in for a bumpy ride. Go ahead, ignore me. But in this turbulent market, you're going to need help protecting some of your assets for retirement. An AXA Equitable Annuity could give you guaranteed income for life. I'd call them, but what do I know? I'm just the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Don't worry, I'm here.
Want guaranteed income for life? AXA Equitable is redefining what you expect from annuities.
Ooh, peanuts.
Performance now is all about logic. That some cars cost as much as $1,500 to maintain is one thing. That others cost even more is quite another. That a BMW costs you nothing to maintain defies all logic whatsoever, and in turn makes it the most logical choice of all. Performance now is the 3 Series. Lease a BMW 3 Series for $399 a month now until May 31st.
Hey, it's time for the in-game box score for the A's, brought to you by Hyundai. Ready for good news? Get Hyundai Assurance and up to $5,000 cash back on select models now. 9 hits for the A's, 1 by Sweeney. Giambi picked up a single, Holiday a single, 3 for Kurt Suzuki, and 2 for Rajai Davis. The Yankees bring in Brian Bruni, who has been pretty automatic of late. He's retired the last 20 batters he's faced. And he will face Jason Giambi. Bruni's last 7 games, 6 2/3 innings, no walks and 12 strikeouts.
That's really good.
That's why you're up here, Al. For that kind of spirited analysis. It's funny because I told my 13-year-old nephew Dylan those same stats. He said, that's pretty good.
What else is there? Look at that. 12 punch-outs, 7 innings.
1 hit.
Complete domination. Great. Hey, look, the solidified spot, and this is all around baseball, is how do you get a 1-2 tandem, or the 1-2 tandem from your setup to your closer? There's very few teams that have a money guy that's automatic so far. And I grant there's only 7 games for his 13 into the season.
Giambi pops it up shallow left, and Damon makes the play.
Look at every team, because of the whole complete games out the window. Nice play by Johnny coming in here, calling off Jeter. Outfield take precedent once he's got a track. If you got your 8th, 7th, 8th to dominate, if you go back to all of the World Championship teams in the last, even go back to Mariano and Wetland, it is so important to have a money guy that you know you can go to, and maybe even lean on a third guy, second guy, third guy, to get to your closer. You don't win. You might get to the playoffs. You got slug some teams, but unless you have 3 starters that go 8, 9 innings per.
Check this alignment out. They have the Giambi shift on, and here's Jeter, and Cody Ransom is on the other side. So the third baseman is actually playing on the second base side of the bag, and that's why Jeter was out there battling with Damon on the catch.
Well, the theory is to have one guy out of position as opposed to having 2 out of position. So if you want your shortstop hole covered, just have your third baseman be out of position as opposed to 2.
I think another issue is that Jeter more range than Cody Ransom, so they put Cody Ransom to cover less area.
Breaking ball inside.
The last one, 95 from Bruni. That's high octane on a cold night.
2-2.
You know, every major league team has their professional scouting at the major level, minor league level, and of course amateur. And I keep going back to, this was a non-waiver, try to push a guy through, take him off the roster. The Diamondbacks, Yankees obviously saw something special in Bruni, picked him up, and how valuable he's been and will be.
I think one of the things they've seen from Bruni is the way he's worked himself into better condition to when he first came with the Yankees, and which would actually make it easier for him to pitch at this level. Being in better shape, maybe have to worry less about injury.
And to be able to rebound, the importance of having your relievers to be able to go 3 days in a row sometimes. You got to be in shape.
I talked to him about it, and he said, you got to come to the realization at some point. You want to support your family. It's nice to have fun, but you got to dedicate yourself. He said, so you give up burgers and fries. He said, you eat chicken, you don't drink. He goes, it's not that tough a thing if you could really put together a contract where you can take care of your family forever. 3-2. Right back to Bruni. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer. Baltimore leads the White Sox 2-0 top of the fourth. Texas has moved ahead of Toronto 5-4 bottom of the eighth. Minnesota, the Red Sox postponed because of rain. Tampa Bay at Seattle will start at 10. Atlanta leads Washington 3-1 bottom of the fifth. Philadelphia all over Milwaukee 11-3 top of the seventh, although it's delayed now by rain. Pittsburgh 3-2 over Florida top of the ninth, and the Mets now lead St. Louis 4-0 in the top of the fifth. And the pitch to Cust is low, 1-0.
Pirates 500 so far.
Getting pretty good pitching.
Joe Kerrigan.
Yeah, doing a nice job.
Yes, he is.
Ross Ollendorf put in a good performance.
The 1-0.
Kerrigan, who was the bullpen coach for a few years here with the Yankees, now the pitching coach for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he's had experience with other ball clubs in that role.
Count 1-2. So Bruni has retired 22 batters in a row, looking for 23 right here.
That's just not 93, 95. That's paint corner. You see Jack Cust wanting to pull the trigger, knows he's going to get a fastball.
One-two. Grounded up the middle, and there's a base hit, so that breaks the string of 22 straight.
Watching Posada put down the signs. He started with a changeup. Bruni said no. Fastball away, no. Fastball in, and then he wanted to throw a backdoor cutter. You see, Cust was out in front a little bit, but the ball elevated, gave him an opportunity to get the barrel of the bat on the ball. Staying through the ball, big home run swing, uppercut. When you kick yourself, you got the catcher calling the right pitch, or at least a different pitch, and you give him a hit. But I still think that if you get a chance, if you have a pitcher and you got the mindset, you have conviction behind it, you'd rather throw the wrong pitch with 100% conviction than the right pitch halfway.
And either way, it gets hit.
Well, that's true. I mean, if it's got to be on, it's got to be where you're trying to throw it.
That was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It's a final in Pittsburgh. Pirates do beat the Marlins 3-2. Karstens gets the win, former Yankee. That one gets past Posada. Moving to second will be Cust.
Less distance here for the catchers to run back to home plate, or behind home plate. 20 feet less. Which is really the only visual difference that I could see as far as the field foul territory.
Well, for the catcher's sake, you won't get as worn out chasing wild pitches during the course of the year.
To jog instead of sprint.
Dave Island has a quick word with Bruni. Left-hander up in the bullpen if it gets to Chavez. Phil Koch is ready. Just a spectator right now. That one's lined into right center field, and that is going to be a base hit. Splits the outfielders and goes to the wall. Cust will score. It's an RBI double for Ellis, and the Yankee lead is now 5-3.
Out over the plate, and once again Ellis with some good hitting. Line drive to the gap in right center field. And it looked as though it was going to be a pretty easy inning for Bruni. Retired the first two A's in order, but then the single and now a run scoring double. Single followed by a wild pitch and then the double.
There's a strike. So they do not bring in the left-hander to face Chavez as Mariano begins to loosen up. Line drive right at Cano. So Chavez hit it on the screws. And Bruni a little upset with himself. So the A's get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 5-3 Yankees.
This is your Movies on Demand screen.
Oh, cool.
So what are you going to do next? Who are you? Who is he?
It's okay. Well, I'm going to
activate over 100 HD channels, program his remote, sync his TV with his computer.
Wow, it's like you've been watching him all day.
Have you been watching me all day?
No.
Switch to Verizon Fios and get the ultimate home entertainment experience. Plus up to $150 back. This is Fios. This is big.
Happy Mother's Day.
A Mother's Day game from the New York Lottery. I could win up to $250,000. Oh.
Give the card every mom will enjoy. Mother's Day from the New York Lottery.
See, son, now this here is value. Getting what you want and not paying too much for it.
So, when I used to mow the lawn and you only pay me $2.
That's value.
While I wash the car.
Value.
Clean out the garage.
Value.
Value for you, baby.
And a valuable lesson for you.
Great food at a great price. You can't argue with that. Or this. Right now, 2 beefy double cheeseburgers are just $3. Hurry, though. Offer ends April 30th.
I'm gonna take Mom out next time.
What if your car didn't come from a factory, but out in the world where you actually drive? It would be better designed around you, the driver, with the kind of technology and features that not only anticipate your needs, but help improve your focus on the road ahead. Ultimately, reinventing the way you move through the world. The all-new 2010 Lexus RX. Lease the 2010 RX 350 for $529 a month for 36 months with $39.79 due at signing at your Lexus dealer.
The in-game box score brought to you by Hyundai. Ready for good news? Get Hyundai Assurance and up to $5 grand cash back on select models now. While the Yankees have 11 hits. Johnny Damon has a home run, his second of the year. Derek Jeter picked up a hit, Mark Teixeira an RBI. 2 hits for Posada, a hit for Cano. Extended his hitting streak to 9 straight. Matsui picked up 2 hits, 2 for 3. And then Cody Ransom and Brett Gardner. Gardner with a 2-run single early. The only one without a hit, Nick Swisher, but he has walked and scored a run. Now, the A's bring in one of their starters. And what a perfect name for pitcher, Outman.
Or is it Outman?
I'm saying
Anyway,
Outman.
Out. He's not Hitman.
So they don't have a lefty in the bullpen, but they bring in Outman. 8 1/3 innings. He hasn't exactly been an Outman. 11 hits. He's walked 6, so 17 base runners and 8 strikeouts.
That's a chance for him to work on a few things here. Now, he was originally scheduled to pitch the 3rd game of this series. Of course, with the rain out last night, Bob Guerin able to push back tonight's starter Evelyn, and he's going to go with Brett Anderson tomorrow. And Outland was scheduled to pitch the 3rd, so they're going to use him out of the bullpen.
And he's old school with the stirrups. They don't wear those anymore. Those are actual stirrups. You've got the yellow sanitary hose and then the green stirrups. Usually they're all in one now, and most of the players don't even show stirrups.
Most clubhouse don't even have it. They had a special order, I think. Really, they're all socks.
That's 70s and 80s right there. I remember that.
He got roughed up in Toronto. Actually, the Toronto offense has been absolutely flip of reverse of what they've been doing the last couple of years. Zito Gaston's got those guys hit.
Zito Gaston and Gene Tennis.
Gene Tennis, that's right.
Hitting coach.
Oakland A's tie.
2-2. Outside.
Tennis was an MVP in the World Series one year for the A's when they played the Cincinnati Reds. Not quite sure the year. It was early 70s, maybe 72.
72.
Yeah. Ray Fosse, longtime member of the A's back in the day, played for Cleveland as well.
Back goes flying. And a triumphant souvenir.
I gave it to the youngster. How about that? bat headed for the seats, and you always, when that happens, you always worry that somebody better be watching the game.
3-2, and Gardner swings and misses, one away. Hey, tonight after the game, keep it right here on My 9 for highlights and analysis of tonight's baseball action. The Verizon Fios game wrap-up tonight after the game on My 9 News.
Speaking of Gene Tennis, he was the first player to hit 2 home runs in his first 2 at-bats in a World Series. Andrew Jones later did it for the Braves against the Yankees in 1996.
Here's Derek Jeter. Derek 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Yankees and the A's just thrilled to get this game in after yesterday's rain out. That has to be made up in July. They didn't need a second rain out here, and the weather's kind of held up. It's been misting most of the night. Kind of damp, dank.
The fog is rolling in, and it's like something out of a horror movie.
Oakland weather, nighttime.
Oakland weather.
This is the first fog here at the new stadium. We like to detail all the firsts, so this is the first fog. A 1-1. Knocked down by Ellis. He can't find it. Now he does. Not in time. That'll be a base hit.
Boy, did we ever jinx him.
Oh, Jeter hits this ball sharply. Ellis knocks it down. It looks at his feet, can't find it. By the time he does, it's too late. He's had some hard hit balls in his direction tonight.
Here's Johnny Damon, and Jeter almost got picked off. That was very odd.
Now, he was going to go on first movement, but the movement didn't come soon enough. There you go. Look, Outman steps off, then throws over to first, and almost throws it away. Trying to get himself into scoring position.
There's a strike. Base hit by Jeter gives him 2 on the night, his 5th multi-hit game of the young season.
Best way for a left-hander to keep a runner close or not going is to vary your times. You don't have a great move as a left-hander. Big leg kick or your leg crosses over the pitcher's rubber. Hold the ball. And that's exactly what you mentioned, Kenny. Derek going on first movement, especially if a guy doesn't compromise his leg kick, meaning a slide step, still has a big leg kick. There's a little slide step. Josh Outman was one of the young pitchers they got back after 06 when Billy Beane and the A's started getting rid of all their pitchers. Josh Outman was traded for Joe Blanton from the Phillies.
And that one gets past Giambi as Jeter moves to second.
Well, he didn't throw the first one away, but he threw the second one away. It's going to be an error on the pitcher. In the dirt off the glove of Giambi, and Jeter scrambles to his feet. Now is in scoring position.
Boy, Jeter just barely getting out to get his secondary lead for Outman to throw over. Sometimes managers will call the slide steps and throw over, which I disagree with. You put it in the hands of the pitcher as to whether he sees it or not.
And Damon swings and misses, 2 away.
That was an emergency hack odd swing, 0-2 count in protect mode. I think Johnny at the end there after committing, looked like he winces with his left shoulder a little. Hitters will commit and halfway through realizing it's a ball, just hoping that they can foul it off. Johnny does that so well.
Teixeira's 1 for 3, an RBI, a walk. Big healthy cut. Outman is one of 5 young starters that the A's have. They all combined have 63 major league starts, 5 starters, and they're all younger than 26. So we talk about them contending. Everything has to come together at the same time for them to contend. I mean, pitchers that young with so little experience, we'll see what they can do. The 1-1. Driven out into left field. Holiday is there, and that's going to do it here in the 8th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Last licks coming up for the A's, and they'll do it against Mariano Rivera.
Employee Pricing Plus Plus is in its final month at your Chrysler and Jeep dealer. You get our employee price, plus a $2,500 combined cash allowance, plus $500 auto show bonus cash, which all adds up to over $6,500 in savings on a new Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4. Plus, well-qualified buyers get 0% financing. All on top of our best-in-the-business lifetime powertrain warranty, giving you even more value and peace of mind. See your Chrysler and Jeep dealer today.
I'm in the process of looking for a new job, so I'm getting my wardrobe into interview shape. Luckily, I discovered Sims. I never have to ask, where is the bargain at Sims? I'll find designer and brand names, and I'll buy them at bargain prices. For the price of 2 name brand or designer suits, at Sims I'll get the same 2 suits, plus a blazer, slacks, 4 shirts, 6 ties, and a pair of shoes. And I'll still get great customer service and advice. I'm an educated consumer, thanks to Sims.
Looking for something that the whole crowd will love? How about a box of delicious Dunkin' Donuts? Bring a treat that's perfect for any occasion. With so many varieties to choose from, at Dunkin' Donuts, you can do it. America runs on Dunkin'.
Question: why does the Honda Pilot have a low cost of ownership? Number 1, low fuel costs, thanks to innovative technology that allows the Pilot to run on as few as 3 cylinders. Number 2, exceptional engineering that can give you a low cost of maintenance. And with room for 8, no wonder it's the best-selling midsize SUV. Go to Edmunds.com for an independent report on the true cost to own a Pilot. And then see your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing.
Well, tonight after the game, keep it right here on My 9 for highlights and analysis of tonight's baseball action. The Verizon Fios game wrap-up tonight after the game on My 9 News. Now we go to the 9th inning. Yankees holding on to a 5-3 lead. And Mariano Rivera will come on and try to close it out. Now, if he nails this down, and you see his numbers so far this year, pretty close to perfect. 3 saves, 5 games, 7 strikeouts, and 5 innings yet to walk a batter. If he nails this down, it'll be the 57th time that he has saved a win for Andy Pettitte, and that would tie a major league record held by, ironically enough, the Oakland A's Dennis Eckersley and Bob Welch. Saved 57 of Bob Welch's games, and that's what Mariano's trying to do here for Andy Pettitte. Remember, Andy was away for 3 years pitching for the Houston Astros. Otherwise, they would have obliterated the record. And those are the numbers we're talking about.
Of course, the Yankees now in the Hall of Fame. Eckersley, much in the same way as Mariano Rivera, began his career as a starting pitcher. Then moved to the bullpen. Of course, Mariano wasn't a starter as long as Eckersley was.
Here's Kurt Suzuki. Pitches inside. Suzuki is 3 for 3. Yankees make a defensive change. Melky Cabrera takes over in right field for Nick Swisher. A real haze hanging over the stadium right now. It doesn't look as if it's going to affect play. But you can see the freeze is shrouded in the gloaming. The 2-0. There's a strike.
There's the gloaming.
The 2-1. Paints the inside corner and a count 2-2. That's the one variation that Mariano's made over the years. He used to just throw cutter to righties, always away. But now he throws that two-seamer inside as well. Sometimes he'll backdoor it. But he's got that extra weapon. He works both sides of the plate. The 2-2. And that one is dunked into center field for base hit. How about Kurt Suzuki? He's 4 for 4. 3 singles and a double.
There was that two-seamer, Michael, you talked about. Cutter, he's doing a cutter inside and outside. Normally that cutter would go away. See that ball, pull it inside. He pulls his hands in nicely. Good piece of hitting there. Is able to get enough of the barrel of the bat on the baseball and drive it through the middle. Mariano's got that scissor effect. That ball probably starts here and then goes this way as opposed to his normal cutter that would run away from the righty.
Travis Buck is going to pinch hit for Davis. And a shattered bat. Ground ball to Cano. He bobbles it. And he's going to tag out Suzuki for the first out.
I think what Cano might have been thinking is come up with the ball, throw to first for the out, then worry about getting Suzuki a little later. But once he bobbled the ball, the runner running from home to first, Buck was going to be safe. And the only out he could take was Suzuki.
Almost went through the wickets.
That's going to bring up Ryan Sweeney. Inside. Sweeney, shockingly, 3 for 3 lifetime against Rivera. Fouled off in front of the plate.
Talking about Mariano, how he's evolved over his career of just cutter away from the righty, cutter in on the lefty. He'll vary his speeds. I saw the first cutter was bigger, more of a slider, 86, and then comes back with the harder one, 91.
Plus is so precise.
Yes.
His control has been just excellent over the years. Like that.
You forget Mariano did have shoulder surgery over the winter, but they took it slow in spring training, and he looks like he hasn't skipped a beat. And the 1-2. Just missed. He pushed the envelope just a bit. So he can get the call from Brian Gorman, the home plate ump.
Just around the corner, Brian Gorman's got a good look at it. Off the plate, a couple inches.
Two-two. Strike 3. Sweeney down looking. Doing a lot of painting out there is Mariano.
Those last two are such a give-up pitch, and take a look at the pitch by pitch. He throws a bigger one cutter in on the hands. Now Sweeney's conscious of this. Cutter, he misses middle, but it's got late movement. Perfect paint on the outside corner. Tries to backdoor it again, and then comes again with the backdoor. Sweeney's hoping that he gets the call. That was a good pitch, had much of the plate.
Now here's Orlando Cabrera as the A's are down to their final out here in the 9th inning. Yankees lead 5-3. And Cabrera bunts right back to Rivera, who makes the catch, and the Yankees win 5-3. So that ties Bob Welsh and Dennis Eckersley as Mariano has saved the 57th game for Andy Pettitte. And the Yankees hope that he's going to save a couple more from the Yankee left-hander.